Hey peeps, Willow Skylar here. It is a very rainy day in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I am going to be joined by a few of my good friends who I've met through the magic of the internet. My intro is a very much work in progress. So today I want you to show me the nerd stuff that you've collected over the years. I go to conventions and hey Ryan, how's it going?
Hello there. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Sorry about that. I was getting everything ready, but it is ready to go. All the collectible stuff is sitting right here, and it's brand new. I just got it in a few moments ago.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, who should go first? I'm sure you have interesting stuff that you want to show. Okay, there's this. This is what happens when you give nerds money. Like, we will go to Toys R Us and buy the stupidest shit. Oh, my battery's dead.
I believe that's one of the Sentinels. Is it not?
It is, yes. Yes.
It is one of the Sentinels.
Yeah. So, that's one of my favorite stuff that I have. Got that a couple of years ago from Toys R Us. I think you'll enjoy this one.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
It's Han Solo in his Hoth outfit. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, we got this secondhand.
It's missing a few things.
It's missing quite a few things. One of these days I will try to track that stuff down. But it was given to us by one of our friends. He gave us a big box of stuff, and we picked through it, and that just happened to be in it. So, he's supposed to talk, but batteries. So let me see what you have.
All right, well, here's the thing. Just to let your audience in on a little secret here, a little behind the curtain. The storage container that I have all this stuff in pretty much fills the entire storage container. So this means the next time I go on a Target run, I'm going to have to get another storage container for my other stuff. So this is how big this thing is, folks. But anyway, let's start with some of the smaller things. We'll work our way up to some other stuff, okay? So I cosplay as Indiana Jones, and this is from the Indiana Jones action figure set that I believe was released in 2008 to celebrate the release of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at the time. But this is from the first indie film I ever saw was Last Crusade. That was the first Indiana Jones film I ever seen. So I have the gentleman who quoted the great catchphrase that I use a lot on social media, and maybe I use it in my everyday life. You have chosen wisely. It is the Grail Knight. The Grail Knight from Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. There he is. You see him? Got his sword. He's got the Holy Grail, which is the cup. And then you got the nice little Indiana Jones logo. So he's brand new. Just got him in a few days ago. He's nice, isn't he? He looks great. I think he looks splendid. All right, so that's him. And then this is a throwback to the year 1990. I think it was 1993 this movie came out, if I'm not mistaken. I got this from another seller. A little part of it's coming apart, but that's okay. At least it's still in its case. If you watch movies and you ever feel like you want to become part of the movie, well, you have to have a magic ticket that was created by Houdini, and it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, Last Action Hero is the one and only Jack Slater right here in his prime. Look at that suit. Look at that outfit.
That is fantastic.
It's, what's it say? Dynamite Jack Slater, a stunt figure. That's the name of this item. So this is what it looks like here. And then on the back, it's got all the different characters, all the different runs of the characters, what kind of action figures they come in, what Jack Slater does with his arm when he flips it, you know.
Sweet.
So that was, wow, that's a nice throwback to 93, if I do say so myself. So that's him. Let's see, what else do we have here? Gosh, I think the question on everyone's mind is, what don't I have? You know what? I may flip around, but who cares? Lightning Collection. If you're a Power Rangers fan, here's Red Ranger Jason. He says hi. There he is. There's Jason's head. There's his head. There's Jason. So you got OG Red, that's Jason Red Ranger of the Lightning Collection. I think these 6-inch figures are pretty detailed. They're pretty good. So that's Mr. Red. And then it's Trey of Triforia, but I'll just replace his head with Jason's. Here's the Gold Zeo Ranger. Here he is. Lightning Collection. If anyone's interested, check him out. And remember how the Gold Zeo Ranger has his own theme song? That was pretty cool. Just throwing that out there. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to put this over here because this will make it a lot easier. Joss, there's so much Power Ranger stuff here. Sorry if I'm overreaching. Let's see.
Oh, no, by all means.
Okay, this one is old school, I think, or maybe it's a re-release. I'm not sure, but I prefer Jason with the Dragon Shield rather than Tommy. Here is Jason the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield and the Dragon Dagger. Here he is. And the Power Sword. So, Tommy, you lost. Jason won. Just saying. How about that? That's a callback to 1993. Look at this box. Look at this. All these different Rangers, all these different characters. Here's the storyline for it. It's incredible.
Beautiful.
It's a good looking box, isn't it? Shaped like a pyramid. Anyway, put him over here. What else? You know what? Let's go with some of these because these are loose figures, so these don't have all the accessories and stuff like that. But if anyone remembers Toy Biz, the company that made a lot of action figures back in the day, and they still do, they're re-releasing all the Spider-Man figures. This is the original Toy Biz Spider-Man right here.
Yes.
This is Spider-Man from '94 animated series that I grew up on as a child. So here's his web slinging. Go web, fly, up and away web, Shazam. No, I'm just kidding. That's a Tobey Maguire reference.
I have that figurine too.
Do you have this one?
I probably do.
Is he laying around somewhere? Maybe he's web slinging. And then if you're a Power Rangers fan, not many people like this character, but I liked him anyway. Justin the Blue Turbo Ranger. Here he is.
Oh, wow.
Blue Turbo, loose. Got him loose. And not only that, if you do this, you got to move the pieces a bit, but flip head. There's Justin's head. There's Justin. Justin says hi. So there you go. Flip head Turbo Ranger figure. Who'd have thunk, right? Never thought I would find
this. That is awesome.
But you know what? I like the suits. I think the suit looks nice on him. Look at that suit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a nice suit. It's got
that's a nice figurine, too.
Little decals on it. Like I said, it's missing all the accessories because I got it loose, but I think it's still cool to some extent. All right, we're going to go to a very galaxy far, far away. Oh, yes, we're going there, folks. This is old school Power of the Force Star Wars Cantina Showdown with Obi-Wan Kenobi and those two goons who were trying to, get at Luke, but Obi-Wan's like, nope, no you don't. He chops both their arms off, but there's no blood here because this is a family show and I want to keep it family friendly. So this is Cantina Showdown. Do you remember this? Is this familiar to you? Yep. And then on the back here, look at the back of this. Look at this. You got the scene from the movie. There's Obi-Wan and two boys trying to, slice and dice him. A little bit of description of the scene that you're looking at. That's small printing, and I can't read very well without my glasses. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. I'm going to put this over here so I know where I'm organized.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, I think you'd get a kick out of my shirt.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Leia from Return of the Jedi. There you go. Oh, so many boxes. You know what? This actually is factory sealed. It's still in its case. It's never been opened, never been touched. But you know what? I thought this was fitting, and we lost a young actress by the name of Thuy Trang, who played Trini, the Yellow Ranger, on the original Power Ranger series. This is Trini and her Thunder Bike when they had the Thunder Zords. So this is her Griffin.
That is awesome.
This is her Griffin Thunder Zord Thunder Bike, as you can see here on the description. And it even says on the box, it says Trini rides into battle on her yellow Thunder Bike. So Trini, this is in memory of you. There's a little part of me that wants to open this so I can, put the figure on its bike and, have it roam around. But at the same time, it's factory sealed and it's Trini, and I want to respect her memory. So it's probably best to keep this sealed. I don't know. I'll have to put a poll on my social media, see what the fans think.
So when you were a kid, did you have the Power Ranger costume? Or any of the gloves or the boots?
I had a few things, yes. I went as which Ranger did I go for Halloween? I think it was the Black Ranger I went for Halloween one time, and then it was kind of a blur. I don't remember a lot about that night. Yeah, but this...
I dressed up as the Yellow Ranger. I had the gloves that made the noise.
Oh, yeah.
my mom actually, I think that was the first time she actually acknowledged the fact that I was a nerd and not so much her princess. She bought me, the Power Ranger gloves, the movies, the blanket. I had posters of Power Rangers. So yeah, that was me.
No, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. But yeah, I just this looks really ridiculously good looking. I don't even know if I want to take it out of its case because it looks so good. It looks so good. But yeah, that's Trini. And by the way, Twee Trang, we miss you. Rest in peace, Twee. Gosh, where are we getting to the end here? Because I feel like I'm running out of so many figurines. Let me see here. What else do I have? Oh yeah, I got a few more here. I hope I'm not boring your 20,000 people who are watching this. Here's something for you. This is another throwback to the great decade known as the 90s. I got this. I never thought I would ever find this, what do you call it, backed and carded, still in its case. But I found it, and one of the reasons I like this figure is because the character is named after me. So I appreciate Saban doing that when this show came on the air. Ryan Steele from VR Troopers, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
Nice.
That is mint. It's mint fresh, never been taken out of its case. Look how crystal clear and clean that is. Here's Ryan Steele, so you see the name. And look at the back of this thing. Look at this.
I've never met anybody who appreciated VR Troopers as much as I did. This is just amazing.
Look at all this. You see all these different figurines. You see Ryan when he's posed. It's just Ryan. I don't know why they didn't cast me. Maybe it's because I wasn't old enough at the time. But still, I really would have loved to have been in this suit and played the character of Ryan Steele. I think that would have been really nice and neat, as Biff Tannen once said. But
did you get the visor from the McDonald's when the toys came out?
No, I don't think I did. I'd have to think about it for a little while, but I don't think I did. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
One of my friends did, and I was so jealous. I almost stole the visor from her. That was the most evil thing that I've ever done.
I was going to say, Lord Zed would be proud of you. Or in this case, Grimlord, because Grimlord was the enemy on VR Troopers, so let's keep that in mind. This one I just got in today, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 2-pack Lightning Collection. You got the Red Galaxy Ranger and the Red Psycho Ranger from Lost Galaxy, as well as Power Rangers in Space, because the Psycho Rangers debuted on Space first before they crossed over with these guys.
Oh, man.
I got this at a really great deal, too, because a lot of different retailers are selling this at a bit, little bit of a tipsy high price, but this one was at a great price. So I thank the person who sold this to me. If you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This is in pretty good shape. A little bit of a tear right here, but that's all right. It's not that big a deal. As long as you can see the figures and they look classy. Stay classy, San Diego. That's all that matters. Jeez, how many more do I have? Oh, if you grew up in the 90s and you were watching a sport, and this was a big sport back then. I mean, it still is to this day, but I think it was a little bit bigger in the 90s because the creativity on the storylines, I think, was somewhat better. But if you grew up watching a little sport called professional wrestling, then you may know some of these characters. Maybe you don't, maybe you will, I don't know. But there was a company back in the heyday, it was called WCW, World Championship Wrestling, owned by Ted Turner and run by an ambitious man named Eric Bischoff. Well, Bischoff, I'm going to give you credit because you created this, and you created for life. So this is WCW Steel Slammers, little figurine figures. Look at this. You got Scott Hall, the Macho Man, Lex Luger, Kevin Nash, who's my favorite, by the way, DDP, Master of the Diamond Cutter. You got Hollywood Hulk Hogan, brother. You got Sting, the icon known as Sting, and you got the Giant, who is now known as the Big Show.
That is amazing.
These logos. Does this bring you back, folks? I don't know if it does. If this isn't Flashback Friday for Willow, I don't know what will.
That is awesome.
Look at this. All these wrestlers, mint condition in their box. I don't think this has ever been opened. Let me check. Nope, it's factory sealed. Look at that.
Wow.
Factory sealed. So that's ridiculously...
This is all stuff that came in today?
Well, it's come in over the last few weeks, but I've waited until some other stuff came in so I can open it all up. So to a certain extent, it came maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, but it's still fresh. So there's that. But last but not least, this is the biggest item that fits in this container, which is off to the side here. This movie, we're going to be doing a watch along. It's not coming up until December. It's going to celebrate its 10th anniversary. I found this, and I was very surprised to find it, but I was very excited because I've never had any figures from this toy line and never had any figures from the movie, and I'm a big fan of the movie and this universe it was trying to build. And unfortunately, we never got a part 3. Although Disney, if you're watching this, Just give us Tron 3. Just give us Tron 3. This is Tron Legacy 12-inch Ultimate Sam Flynn figure from Tron Legacy. And this suit is supposed to light up and stuff, but the batteries are dead, so I have to get new batteries for it. And it's factory sealed, which means I'm going to have to... I'm sorry, Sam, but I'm going to have to open the box. Going to have to repair you a little bit and, get you out of some of the other things that are holding him up. I got to loosen everything. But this is Sam Flynn. If you open this up...
Ooh.
This is what he's supposed to look like when he glows in the dark. Some of the weapons that he has. He has the disc. Because, of course, if you're on the grid, you need an identity disc. Store policy. And then here's the back of it. So you get a big size view. There you go. There's Sam's outfit. A little bit of the story of Sam Flynn and what he's supposed to look like when it lights up.
That is awesome.
This is a 12-inch figure. I don't think I've ever owned a 12-inch figure. At least I haven't owned one in like 100 years. But it says face moves and talks. So that means I definitely need to get batteries for this thing. Anyone here a Tron Legacy fan? If you are, put your comments in the chat.
I know quite a few ladies who have dressed up as the Tron characters. And there's a family of women that have the Kuberos.
Do they dress up as the Tron Sirens?
Yes. They have the light up suits and everything. And that's actually how I first met them is at an event, and they were dressed up as the Tron characters and beautiful outfits.
You know what? They must have put a lot of work into them because as John Hammond once said, "Spared no expense." So if you know where that movie that's from, you get bonus points. But yeah, so those are what I have to show for your millions and millions of viewers. I hope they enjoyed it. I got more on the way that'll be coming in the next week or so, so that's going to be exciting. I got a few more of these Star Wars scenes type stuff that's coming in, so I'm excited to see those. So yeah, that's all I have, Your Honor. The defense rests. What do you have to show us, Willow?
Well, I'm going to have to probably get up and get something, but for right now, this is what I have around my computer desk. So I have Nick Fury.
Oh, very nice.
I do 7-Eleven every so often, and even the theaters brings out these like Slurpee cup toppers or. So I don't know. I kind of like them.
Splendid.
So.
I can't believe everything I have here pretty much fills up my storage container. That is just... more Target runs, folks. One of the best things about Target? They never run out of storage containers.
I have one of these figurines, Star Wars, Lego.
Legos, yeah, my niece and my nephew would like those. Yeah, my niece and nephew, they would think those are adorable. Because, they're nieces and nephews. They're young. They're very, very young.
And, of course, I have my comic book collection.
Comic books? What are those? Are those things with words and pictures in them? No, I'm kidding. Hey, it's what the best thing about comic books is that Gaston makes fun of people who want to read comic books because he says, "How can you read this? There's no pictures." And, because Gaston prefers comic books to words on a page because Belle reads words on a page, and Belle says, "Well, some people use their imagination." I'm like, well, some people can do it very well. Some people have a little bit of trouble with it, but that's okay because hey, if you love comics, great. If you love words on a page, that's great.
One of the great artists that one day I will meet him.
Oh, nice. Who are those characters?
This is Dawn.
Okay.
She is a goddess.
Oh my. Okay.
Another Dawn.
All right. Radical art, as some people would say. That's nice.
And of course, I'm a huge fan of Firefly, so Serenity.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion.
You know what? It's funny.
A fan of the brown coats, are we?
I hung out with a guy named Dennis for a while, and I swear to God, he looked like Nathan Fillion. And that was prior to Firefly coming out, and he decided to move back to Alberta because apparently it rained too much that year in Manitoba. he got a little cranky and I guess he wanted to move back. So, but
that happens. Nasty weather.
You know what? It was funny. Like earlier today, we had a nice storm. It was lightning and thundering, and I knew it wasn't going to last. So, but I mean,
understandably so. This is so cool. I got the Grail Knight. All I need now is Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I think I'm good. Those are the only, well, if I get Henry Jones, a.k.a. Sean Connery's character, it's fine, but his toy doesn't look as good as some of the others, so it's kind of like, don't really need it, even though I kind of want it, but the design isn't as good as some of the others. So you gotta pick your battles. So I just need Indiana Jones from Raiders, which is this. Where is my hand? There it is. This one right here. I want Indiana Jones from Raiders, and then done. That will be my Indiana Jones figurine collection complete. I'm just glad I got the Grail Knight. I got him for a good price, too. It wasn't too shabby. So clearly, if he were here right now, he would tell me, "You have chosen wisely. But the Grail cannot go beyond the Great Seal. That is the price of immortality." Or no. That is the boundary and the price of immortality. Sorry, I don't mean to start quoting movies randomly, but I've been that way since I was a kid. So sorry to your 20,000 people who are watching this. But I tend to just quote stuff. Oh, man. Putting these figures back. I'm trying to organize this, and it's so difficult. I'm going to have to reorganize this. This is going to kill me. But anyway, do we have any other friends of us? Or friends of... my words are slurring. Do we have any more friends of ours that are joining us this evening?
You know what? That's a good question.
Anyone get on the phone and say, "Hey, Willow, I'm down. I'll be there in 2 minutes."
I tried. I thought for sure there were going to be people, but I don't know.
Maybe they're off in Winnipeg or Manitoba or somewhere in Winnipeg going to happy hour or something. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've never been to that part of Canada. I've only been to Toronto, so I don't know Canada very well. Sorry, folks. Probably should be more knowledge about Canada, but I'm not. I should be, but I'm not.
All right. Well, I will be right back. I'm just gonna go get some other stuff.
Yeah, sure. So the audience who is watching this, I wonder who is watching this. I hope you're enjoying our presentation. I know we're kind of jumping through a couple of groups here, but you know what? We're doing this for you. And if you have a collectible you want to tell us about, drop it in the comment section below. We would love to hear about it. And I know I sound like a walking, talking billboard, but it's the best thing to do on such short notice.
All right. So some of you are huge fans of the original Star Trek, I'm sure.
Trekkies.
There's my phaser.
Oh boy. Is it set to stun or kill? Depends on the day.
Somewhere in the middle.
Well, that's not really an answer.
It may maim.
Okay. If you want to call it that, that's fine. Gee whiz.
Oh, that still works.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, that thing looks like it's been through some battles. I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. Oh, that's the, what is it, the communicator or something?
Yeah.
Do you have the Captain Kirk smartwatch that you see in the commercial? Enterprise.
No, I wish.
You need to get that then. Put it on your to-do list.
And I have...
Oh, there you go. Yep. Remember seeing that on clips from episodes.
Yeah, that's a good portion of my... Well, okay, not all of it. Trust me, that I got plenty. I swear, if you guys come over to my house, you'll see like my Lego Batmobile in one case. I have figurines in another, and I have like a collector car stuff as well. So
Nice.
we're my husband even has his model railroad down in our basement.
Oh, nice.
We got into the model railroading.
Yep. I was into trains as a kid myself.
You know what? It's funny. He just got into it. Okay, I can't say he just got into it, but he's been collecting it for model trains for about 5 years, maybe longer. But yeah, him and his dad got into it, and so they go to all the train shows and see all the stuff that. You know what? And I can't. I'm not mad because of the fact that I have my own collection as well and my costumes. Actually, you know what? I don't mind him being out in the garage tinkering with his cars or being, playing with his model trains because you know what? Honestly, it gets him out of my hair. So yeah, I'm also part of the Elvira fan club.
Lovely. And it's funny, I looked at the casting list because you said she was in the movie, and yes, it's true. She actually played the biker mama in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah,
not Large Marge, but she did play the biker mama. That was her. When she grabs Pee-wee and says, "I say you let me have him first." then we hang him, and then we kill him. Like, the lines in that movie, especially when he's in the biker bar. Did anybody ever tell you this is the private club of the Satan's helpers? Nobody hint me to that, dude. It's off limits.
That is a great movie. I have to rewatch it again myself.
I had to rewatch it for movie trivia purposes. I can't say anything more than that because the match hasn't gone up for the public to see yet, so I'm not going to say anything more than that. But it was a heck of a match. I'll just say that. It was a tag team match, so I was on a team with my tag team partner who just happens to be named Ryan. So it was us, the Ryehards, as we call ourselves, going up against We're Your Density, which that name was clearly named after Back to the Future. So it was a fun match. That's all I'm going to say. The match will go up in a couple of weeks. As soon as it goes up, I will let your 20,000 plus fans know about it. But yeah, the biker scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure was kind of funny. You trying to add somebody? Is that it?
I apparently had to.
Technical difficulties?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Apparently, my live video wasn't streaming right to Facebook, which is odd.
Where is this streaming live to?
I guess it's just to us. Just give me a sec here. Mm-hmm. Okay, apparently I am live. Okay. I had to change the settings to public, apparently. I'm sorry about this.
It's okay. Training wheels, folks. Training wheels. Or should I say baby steps, ladies and gentlemen? It's okay. StreamYard, especially if you're trying to stream it to a personal page, it's hectic. That's why I always do it on the Nerd Culture or my professional page because it's just a lot easier to do. But then again, it comes with time.
Yeah, well, apparently that's all. It's not okay. Yeah, set it to public. Okay, yeah, I have it set.
There you go. I gotta take a look at this container. I hope it's not crunching one of my figures because that's not going to be pretty. Is there space? Kind of, but I think I need to move it. All right. Red Ranger is going to get squashed a little bit. I need to move that. He is going to have to be bad. Keep that there. Don't break that. Move that over. Move this down. I know, it's like playing a game of Battleship. Jeez, why do things have to be so difficult? It's like the Beast says in Beauty and the Beast. She's being so difficult. Alright, there we go. It's not the greatest setup in the world, but it's going to be good enough, and it's not going to crunch anything, so yay. Whoops. Other way. There we go. Alright. Alright, we're organized, folks. You gotta love organizing your storage containers in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you know what? I have like so many costumes that I tried going to a convention last year, and No problem, Terry. You know what? It's funny. Like, I find so much stuff at like Value Village that could potentially make a good costume, and then I hang on to it for a while, and then I'll get rid of it, and then it's like, oh, I really needed that for something else, and it's like, so I'm a hoarder when it comes to costumes now, and I tried giving away some of my stuff, but I had some leftover leather that I ended up giving away to one of my friends who makes like book covers and stuff like that. So this is the stuff. So that's one of the things that I got for the leather that I gave him.
I'm sorry, is that supposed to be a journal, or is that something from a TV series?
No, it can be used as a journal. It just has some blank pages. So,
nice. Wow, there's a lot of figures. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
My friend posted a claim sale on the Ranger Stop page, and I'm looking at all the Ranger stuff to see if there's any more flavors I want to, take home with me. Most of these are figures that I really don't. Either I'm not a fan of the respective season, or I'm not a big fan of it. Let me see.
There was a lot of Power Ranger stuff, though.
Let me see. What is that? Time Force Megazord. The green Time Force Ranger. Oh, but unfortunately, he's out of my price range. That's a little too much. Blue Lightspeed Rescue. He's decently in my price range. A few of these are a little outside of it. Sorry, I'm babbling.
No, it's okay.
Let me see what else we have.
Whoops.
$50 each for these battle bikes or turbo carts or well, I wasn't a fan of something. Factory sealed overseas packaging of a Dragon Zord. Oh my. Good thing I'm not a Green Ranger fan. White Ranger, folks. White Ranger. I already have the Legacy White Ranger Tiger Zord, so I don't need that. Sorry if I'm babbling, folks. Brand new and untouched. Well, what's the price on it? I saw a guy selling this for half of what he's selling it for. Sorry, buddy. Not happening. Okay, this one I wanted, but it's missing some of the weapons, so it's incomplete. It has most of its stuff, but not all of it, so it's incomplete. That doesn't help me. Sorry, folks. I'm just rambling about random Power Ranger stuff. Let's see. How much is it? Yep, same price I bought the first one. That's good.
How much are they asking for it?
Well, it depends. Which item are you referring to? Because I'm looking at like a gajillion of them.
Well, the one that you passed up.
The
one that you were reading.
The one that's incomplete, or the one that's like 50% more than what the.
Either item.
It's the original Ninja Megazord, but it doesn't have the ape sword, so it's incomplete. The Red Dragon Thunder Zord was. I'm trying to think. Are we on your page, or are we on your professional page? Which page? Where are we live? Because
live on my actual page, my full.
Your personal or your professional?
My personal page.
All right. I probably shouldn't say it then.
Okay. Don't worry about it then.
I'll keep some secrets to myself. But anyway, let's see what else. What else do we have on this menu here? This is a lovely menu, folks. Let me see what we have here. We have. Okay. Well, this person may or may not be posting more as the night goes on because the thread just started. So I'm gonna give that person some time to get everything rolling, and I'll let him do his business, and I'll do mine. Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't think I need anything off the menu. I think I have enough meals or collectibles to last me for the next several days, maybe weeks. I don't know. I'm looking at my watch here. But anyway. So just to let your audience know, I have some stuff coming in next week. That's going to consist of Star Wars Power of the Force items that are from the 90s toy line. One of those was the Cantina Showdown that I showed off earlier. I bought the scene from Return of the Jedi, where it's Luke versus Vader versus the Emperor. You know, that final duel on the second Death Star, so you remember that? That's coming in. Also have the scene from Return of the Jedi, where it's the very end of the movie, and it's the Jedi spirits that are overwatching Luke. I think I spoke to you about that earlier, so that's coming in. 2 figures that are Star Wars related that you can turn the wheel, and it's a 360-degree turn. It's called Force Power. That's the name of the figures.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it's Luke in his Bespin outfit, and Darth Vader in his well, he always wears the same outfit, but it's him in his Bespin battle gear where he's pointing the finger at Luke in the first part of the scene. So I'm going to have my Bespin duel with the spinning figures, and I'll be able to, like, you know, put it together on a bookshelf, and I'm basically setting up the scene without having it be in a box like the other figures. Like, plus, those figures are a little smaller too, so this kind of helps because these figures are bigger. And then what else do I have coming in? I have what's the other thing? Oh, well, it's a book, so it's really not a collectible. It's more of a book, but it's still nerdy. It's a fan's love for the Back to the Future trilogy that's coming up next week, so that'll be nice. So yeah, and speaking of journals, you know, you were bringing up journals a little moment ago. I got this one from the same guys who sold me the Tron Legacy figure.
Yeah.
It's a Star Wars May the Force Be With You Jedi journal. So
okay.
Look at the right. It has the ancient inscription over there. You see the writing?
That's cool.
So then you open it up, and then it's just, I prefer lined paper because I'm an organized person, but if I have to write Dear Journal, like all, you know, if I can't do it with lined paper, I can try without lined paper. I can try. People have written journals without lines for decades. Why can't I do it? So it's blank, it's all blank paper. So you can write whatever you want in your Jedi journal. Let's see though. So anyway, and I like how it says, May the Force be with you, because that's the best, like, that's the best catchphrase from Star Wars, and that's what I wish people all the time anyway on social media and in real life. So I'm a nerdy guy. So that's new, ladies and gentlemen. This is brand new. So thank you for joining us.
That is cool.
Yeah, journals are kind of fun.
I don't really write in journals. I'm probably going to use mine for conventions when I start meeting you, meeting all the autographs and the artist stuff.
Oh, the artistry stuff. That's fair.
Get them to draw a picture in there.
Oh, you mean, okay, for artists to draw sketches or pictures for you. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, then you definitely don't need lined paper for that. Artists prefer plain paper, so unlined paper, whatever it's called.
That, and then, I get...
Wow, that's cool.
I collect a lot of art when it comes to conventions, and this is one of my friends, his book.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe you should get someone to draw you a picture of Eric Draven as the Crow.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
The Crow. There's a throwback for you, ladies and gentlemen, on this Flashback Friday, 94, when the movie came out. Not counting the comic. I know the comic came out before, but... the movie was 94. That was a good year, right? It's when VR Troopers debuted, I think. Yeah, it was. It was the same year that debuted. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad debuted that year. So, yeah, there was a lot of greatness in the 90s. Let's just put it that way.
You know, and the thing that sucks about Canadian television is we often piggyback our streams from the U.S. and Fox, for some reason... when it came to VR Troopers, I don't remember watching like all of it because for some reason, I'm guessing Fox cut out or canceled VR Troopers somewhere along the lines, and we didn't get Canada didn't get all the episodes.
Bummer.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to track down the VR Troopers movie or like the series.
Well, the series, as well as a lot of the other series we grew up on as children from Saban, pretty much all of them at this point are available through Shout Factory. So you can get all the Power Ranger DVDs, you can get all the VR Trooper DVDs, you can get all the Big Bad Beetleborgs DVDs. What was the other show that was on? I didn't watch it. I just remember seeing the theme song, Tattooed Teenage Kids from Beverly Hills, whatever it was, Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, whatever it was called. All that stuff is available through Shout Factory. So if you go to shoutfactory.com today, check it out. They got not just a great gallery of TV series, but they also got a lot of movies that are hard to find on Blu-ray and DVD format as well. Like, for instance, one of the things I'm going to be getting in the next few months is The Shadow with Alec Baldwin, because they came out with a collector's edition of the movie with better picture, better sound, behind-the-scenes footage, new interviews with Alec Baldwin and the cast. So I'm going to be getting that at some point in the future because the movie may not be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it is an enjoyable film. So The Shadow from Shout Factory, you should look it up. It's good stuff. There's your little plug, one of your many plugs I will be throwing out throughout the course of this evening for your audience. So keep that in mind. So are our friends coming to this soiree, or do I have to hound them?
It looks like they were...
What about Christian? Didn't Christian say he was going to be all over this?
I thought so, but they also... Someone had posted up another link in the Media Warriors thing, so I think they're hanging out over at the Orlando shit show.
Too good for us, are you guys? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Professional, I think.
Okay.
I don't blame them.
That's all right. Hey, it's Friday night. It's happy hour. It's happy hour in Canada. It's happy hour in America. Someone's got to be going out to grab a drink somewhere. So it's fine. But yeah, that's the stuff I have now. More stuff coming in soon, so that'll be lovely and glorious. And then I'll have to put them all in another storage container. So, gotta love Target. What else has been going on? I'm trying to think. Let me see. Caught up on some of my DVR. I won't say what I was watching because it's a little embarrassing, and I don't want to embarrass you for 20,000. I can't say it. It's a reality show, and I don't want to say. Actually, it's 2 reality shows, but one of them is a spin-off of the same one. So, just set in a different country. You know how you have Survivor in one place, and you have Survivor Barbados or whatever it's called. There's like 2 different versions. So, but anyway, I was watching my DVR, so that was fun. Then I had dinner, which was lovely. What else did I do today? Yeah, just caught up on a few things here and there. Nothing really exciting. What else? No, today's the 17th, so this was yesterday. But yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Inception.
Oh, yeah.
So, a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. So, if anyone's a fan of Chris Nolan and his movies, feel free to watch Inception because it just celebrated its 10-year anniversary yesterday.
That's actually a pretty good movie. I
like the originality of it. Going deep into a person's dreams, that's something people have dreams, but we don't bother to explore them. But to see a movie explore them like that, even though the movie was a bit, shackled to the point where they just went into this guy's dream to make him sell his company. I know that's not the greatest plot in the world, but at the same time, you're still going into somebody's levels of dream. So you're still getting the dream stuff. It's just they're kind of handcuffed by the whole, we're not really there to steal your dream. We're there to steal an idea or put an idea in your mind. But whatever, who cares? When Tom Hardy looks at the audience, or not the audience, but he looks outside the window, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. Pulls out a bigger gun than Joseph Gordon-Levitt is carrying. So I think it's a good Nolan movie.
It definitely makes you think how many levels there are within your dreams, because I have definitely had dreams where I've woken up and then a few moments later I wake up myself, and it's that messes with my head.
It's a fascinating movie. Yeah. If we had the energy and the coffee for it, we could do a watch along right now, but we're not going to do that because I'm sure the audience's last thing they want to hear is Ryan and Willow's opinion about Inception. I'm just kidding.
We'll do that later.
At another point, it's crazy up here. But what else? Inception is turning 10, and then, well, I guess I can let your audience in on this because it's going to happen. I just have to put the pieces together, but it's a thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested, we're going to be celebrating the 25-year anniversary of a film that really only 2.5 people in the world care about, and I'm one of them. It's called The Net, with that girl from the bus. And it's called The Net from 1995, and it stars a lovely actress by the name of Sandra Bullock. And Sandra Bullock's life is being ripped apart by these computer hackers. And to me, this movie is a race against time for her to reclaim her identity, get her life back, and also fight off the people who are trying to kill her. So it's an action thriller is how I would best describe The Net. So if you've never heard of this movie, or you're thinking, why is Ryan talking about going fishing? No, I'm not talking about going fishing. I'm talking about the internet, which is why the name of the movie is called The Net. So to me, the movie, I think, was ahead of its time. I think that's why it didn't get as much of a good response as it could have. I don't think it made as much money as it could have because people they weren't really sure how to take it back then. And it also got mixed reviews on the lovely site called Rotten Tomatoes. Believe me, there's a lot of movies that have gotten rotten numbers or reviews on Rotten Tomatoes that I think are actually really good movies. It's just the people on RT didn't see the light. And let me tell you, full disclosure, and we're going to reveal this. We're going to go more in depth with this during the course of the watch along. I don't want to give too much away. It didn't get the highest number on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think The Net is a very strong film. I think it's a really good action thriller. I think Sandra Bullock is incredible in this movie. I know a lot of people discovered her before with Speed, because like we said, it's the net with that girl from the bus. So she was on a bus before she was on the net. I get it. But for me, my first exposure to Sandra Bullock as an actress was the net. So that's why I'm a big fan. That's one of the reasons I'm a big fan of this film. So if anyone's watching this, which I hope 20,000 of you are, join us on Saturday, July the 25th. We're going to go live. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do the watch along. We're going to just toss in one or two fun facts about the film as we go throughout the course of the night. And I also want to hear your opinions on this. So if anyone wants to drop some comments, do so during the course of the live show. If you want to say what your favorite moment of the movie is, maybe some of your favorite characters in the movie aside from Sandra Bullock's character, let us know. We would love to hear about it. So mark it in your calendar. Willow, I'm looking at you too. Put it in the calendar, Saturday night, July 25th. Hopefully, are you available or are you busy?
I'm pretty sure I have Saturday off, or next Saturday off.
Okay, fair enough. And if you don't, that's fine too. If you have other obligations to fulfill, that's fine too. You got to make the millions.
You're assuming I have a life.
No, it's okay. You got to do what you got to do. But if anyone's interested, join us next Saturday. So that would be a week from tomorrow, July the 25th, 2020, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you live in the Eastern Time, that'll be 7. If you live Central, it'll be 6 o'clock Central. And if you live in what's that thing called? Pacific Standard Time, it would be 4 p.m. PST. So keep that in mind as we go along. If you're interested, let us know. I'm looking for some panelists to be on the show with us. So far it's me, and I think Willow is pretty much – are you signed on? Are you going to sign the contract? Are you down? Okay, so that's lovely. So we'll add your name to the VIP list. Make sure you get some free drinks, some free grub. That's non-existent because we're in cyberspace. We're not in real life, unfortunately. Otherwise, this would be a really great party with everybody, of course. So yeah, the net's coming up, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I haven't watched this movie all the way through in a little bit of quite some time, so I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it. Definitely not one of my favorite films with Sandra Bullock in it, but it'll probably change my mind.
Will this be your first time seeing the movie?
No. Oh no. I'm pretty sure I saw it when it first came out.
Decades ago.
Oh yeah. I know I saw it when it first came out. And probably saw it on TV countless times since. But yeah, I checked my movie stuff. I don't have it, but I can probably get a copy pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You got resources. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not trying to sound like that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's exciting. The net with that girl from the bus. And that, by the way, for those of you who have no idea what line I'm quoting that from, that would be from Frank Costanza, who passed away this year. Jerry Stiller, rest in peace. He said it on Seinfeld, and he's like, 2 months ago, I watched a provocative movie on cable TV. It was called The Net with that girl from the bus. And I've never seen Speed, but I immediately got I almost pretty much at that moment I got the reference. It's like, oh, Speed with John Wick, right? Keanu Reeves. I've never seen it before, but people tell me how great Speed is as an action film. I need to see it.
See, I don't know. Like, do I like her as an action star or romance? I don't know. That's
She's done her fair share of action movies, but she's also done a lot of rom-coms. While You Were Sleeping.
Yes.
Which I just saw for the first time a month ago. I think it was a month ago. It was cute. I liked it. Especially when you got Bill Pullman as a love interest. I mean, he played one of the best cinematic presidents of the United States with Independence Day. So my hat's off to you, President Whitmore. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, While You Were Sleeping, she was in, what other movies was she in? She was in The Blind Side, which she got Oscar attention for, I believe. So that was good.
She was in
Miss Congeniality 1 and 2.
Congeniality.
All About Steve, which won her a Razzie that year. It's true.
There was
A Time to Kill.
The Lake House.
The Lake House, yes. That was her and Keanu Reeves reuniting after, what was it, like 15 or so years after the events of Speed. So
that was a cute movie.
I thought it was good, but the ending kind of left me wanting more. It's like, really? I thought the ending could have been a little bit more sweeter. But I'm not the director. I'm just a guy. I'm just a human being. But yeah, I thought the ending was a little not that good for The Lake House. But then again, it's been 15 years since I've seen it. It's been like X amount of years since I've seen it. So maybe if I watch it again, my attitude will change. But Yeah, can you imagine that? I can't remember her character in Demolition Man, but that character and John Wick have a baby. Like
Oh my
that's
god.
like, what was her name in Demolition Man? Was it Hensley? I think it was Hensley, or it began with an H. Huxley? It may have been Huxley. One of the two. But anyway, if she got together with John Wick, that would be interesting. Boy, we're going into some deep, dark territories here. I hope your listeners aren't too put off by this. But,
Hey, if anything, this should wake them up.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, is anybody watching this broadcast? When you see a heart or like a thumbs up on the left hand of your screen, like on the host screen, you should see like how many people are watching.
I have one person watching.
It's probably Terry. Is it Terry? Terry, if you're watching this, drop us a comment in the chat so Willow can see it on her screen, because I can't see it on my end, because she's the host, I'm not. Terry in aisle 3. Terry. Bueller. He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend, cousin's nephew went out and saw him pass out of 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious. Thank you, Simone. No problem whatsoever. Fry. No, sorry. I'm not even the biggest defender of that movie. I don't like Ferris Bueller as much as everyone else does, but there are some good lines in it. I'll give you that. Especially from Ben Stein, because he plays the teacher. I'm just saying.
You know what? I love that film. That is I think that is one of my favorite films that Howard Hughes has done.
Howard Hughes? I think you mean John Hughes.
John Hughes. I'm so sorry. Wow, brain.
Yeah, Howard Hughes is the aviator. It's okay. It's Friday. You've had a long day at the office and you're tired. It's okay. You're making a lot of millions today.
But yeah, The Breakfast Club was an okay film. I know probably a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but
I love that movie.
Pretty in Pink wasn't the best film.
I actually enjoyed that more than I thought I would. Pretty in Pink was pretty darn, and the soundtrack in that movie, oh, so good. Even if the movie's not great, the soundtrack is great, because the 80s, 80s films, they had like the best 80s soundtracks.
I think that's about the only thing going for that movie, for me anyway, was the music.
Kind of hurts, but okay, I'll accept it. I'm a Pretty in Pink defender. I will defend Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink any day of the week. Those two films are so good. At least in my opinion. But then again, not every movie is for everybody. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. What was another? It's funny. I met someone from the movie, The Breakfast Club. I met Brian, the nerd, Anthony Michael Hall. I met him. He was also one of the main characters in Weird Science, if you remember that movie.
Yeah.
Yep, and he was also Rusty in National Lampoon's Vacation when they go to Wally World. So I met him one time at a convention. Very nice man.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was a good one.
I still have not seen that.
No.
I know, I'm 32 years too late now. I lived through the 80s, so I probably watched more of these movies than... Did you watch Predator growing up?
Yes.
Did you watch The Terminator growing up?
Yes.
There you go. See, that's your 80... did you watch Top Gun growing up?
Yes.
Okay, if you watch those 3 80s films, you met the trifecta. If it bleeds, we can kill it. You remember Predator. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Get to the chopper!
See, okay, Top Gun. Yes, yes, it's a good movie.
It's a machismo movie, though. It is. It's a machismo movie. It is. It's okay. It's mostly a guy film, but it's okay, Willow.
But I mean, it had its moments where it was, girls have their moments for that film where the guys are top shirtless playing volleyball.
Listening to Kenny Loggins playing with the boys.
But again, I think the soundtrack is pretty much the only thing going for that movie as far as I'm concerned.
Man, you're losing a lot of friendship points, not only with me, but with your two and a half people who are watching this live broadcast, and that includes Terry.
It was a recruitment film.
It's okay. I will say this. Not many people have this opinion about this 80s film, but I think it's the best one of the franchise. I think The Terminator from 84 is better than any Terminator film that's ever been made, and that includes the second one. I really enjoyed Judgment Day. I really do.
Really?
But when I rewatch those two, to me, The Terminator is way better.
Huh.
It's a sci-fi action-adventure horror movie that has a great story and great elements, and to me, it's just every scene in Terminator 2 is just a setup for the next action set piece, and you can kind of tell. But the first film is so good. I think, to me, it's the best. I know that, and I know the audience is going to say this in the chat. Boom, hot take. But I like the first Terminator more so than the second. I still like 2. Because you have liquid metal, and that was a big deal for special effects in 1991. Let's not kid ourselves. And you had a young John Connor, and you also had the guy from Salute Your Shorts playing his best friend, David Cooksey, whatever his name is. So that was cool. And you have a great score by Brad Fiedel. So, dun, 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 dun. Come on now, dun, 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 dun. You remember that?
Yep.
Great score. Both films had great scores. Both the first one and the second. Although I am a bigger fan of the 80s synthesizer. It's so good. I'm just saying.
No. What other we had Alien, which was a fantastic movie as well.
Aliens was the 80s, because Alien was 79, believe it or not. I can't believe how old that movie is.
And
it's amazing.
I don't know. The 80s had some really good movies.
It's because I think the 80s knew what they were doing, and they had a plan, and they executed it to perfection. Because every 80s movie I've seen, I've enjoyed the heck out of, to a certain extent. Maybe I enjoy some more 80s films more so than others, but at the same time, the 80s had it down pat. Like, what was the last 80s film I just saw? I just saw this one too. It was oh god. I think Hoosiers. Hoosiers was 86. Yeah, okay. So I saw Hoosiers was great. Oh God, what was this other 80s film that just blew me away? I'm trying to think of what it was. I'm gonna have to dig into my data banks. Can't think of it right now.
I mean, there was some cheesy ones. Revenge of the Nerds was a good movie, but I mean it paved way for movies like Meatballs and yeah.
I know of it. I've just never seen it, but I know what it's about. It's not that hard.
Caddyshack.
I have Caddyshack right over here.
Caddyshack is another good one.
I haven't seen Caddyshack yet, but it's right over here. On DVD. I have it on DVD. Because I bought that 10-film set of Warner Brothers from Target, and Caddyshack is one of the movies in the set, so I need to watch that. I need to get on that. Oh, is this your wife? Ooh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must be something more electricity, huh? That's something that Rodney Dangerfield says in the movie. I've never seen the movie. I've just seen clips of it. Oh, I remember the 80s film I just saw. I maybe enjoyed this film a little too much for my own good, but I liked Roadhouse.
Yes. We actually, Joe and I just watched that movie the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I am the cooler. 3 rules. If anyone gets out of line, do this. If they do it again, do that. And rule number 3, this is the most important rule. Be nice. Be nice. I want you to be nice. So if somebody calls your mother a blah, 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 you be nice. When he says that, it's like, how can you be nice in a toxic environment like this? Like, that's nearly impossible for bouncers to do. You see what I'm saying? I am the cooler. Be nice. Like, how does that work? Do you enjoy pain? Pain don't hurt. Like, what? But it's Patrick Swayze. He can get away with it.
Patrick Swayze and Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything. I don't know. Just he looks so good dressed up as a girl. Wesley Snipes also, all of them just look fantastic, all dressed up as women, and just it's not a movie that I would envision any of those actors in because of Wesley Snipes and Swayze being super macho during the times that they were really big, but just they knock it out on the park. I don't know. like if they were to ever do like not a remake, but just like as a sequel, just kind of a memorization, kind of remembering Patrick Swayze for doing that part. Just I don't know. I would love to see John Leguizamo and Wesley Snipes return as their female counterparts. That would be cool.
Yeah, no, that would be interesting. Sorry, I was just
Nope.
I was gone for a little while to eat dinner, and I was away from my phone, so I have all these notifications I'm like catching up on. If you don't mind, don't worry. I'm still like I can still listen to what you're saying. What do you call it? It's multitasking. I just got an email from somebody I was waiting to hear back from, so that business has been taken care of. Yay. It's not really a secret because COVID-19 affects everybody in different ways. I think it's safe to say that my college campus, as well as others around the area that I currently live in, are going to let students take their courses online when we go back in the fall.
Okay.
And I think I just got confirmation from both one of my professors and somebody else, my advisor. So I think I'm in the clear.
Oh, good.
So that's a good thing. That means I can just work remotely from home and not have to worry about going to campus. Now, granted, my job I need to be on campus for, but that's a different situation entirely, and that's something I'm going to have to discuss with the parties that are involved at a later time. I can't do that right now, but yeah, I think my professors are cool with me and the other students staying home. So huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I know they want to bring a lot of people back, but at the same time, I think they were going to offer students the option of to come back physically or to take them remotely.
Yeah.
I'm going with option B. As much as I love my campus and I know they're going to take every precaution there is to take, and they're very smart about it, I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel better being in the back cave. I'm sorry, but I can shop from home. I can do my coursework at home. I can do my homework at home. So I think I'm just going to do that. Thanks, campus. So yeah, just to let your viewers know if they're interested, which they're probably not, but my safety is pretty secure at this point. So thank you, campus, and thank you for your understanding in this matter. So thank you to the professors who are working countless hours to make sure that everybody is getting their stuff done safely. So, and this is something that I think needs to be said. Even though I haven't met these professors yet, because these are new classes for everybody that were taken in the fall respectively, so I haven't met these people face to face. Thank you to all the professors who are like taking the measures to help their students in the ways that they're doing it, because teachers, if you're watching this, not just the healthcare workers who are the real heroes, but teachers are heroes as well. So thank you to all the teachers who may or may not be watching this.
I can't imagine being a student during this time.
It's crazy.
I don't like how was the workload for you guys
for the spring?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it was fine. I mean, the only thing that bummed me out was that one of my courses is hands-on. It's a TV studio production course that I was taking. So we were in a TV studio that would look like looks like a real one, and we were getting to work with the cameras. We were working in the sound booth. I was on a headset. I was testing out being a director for a few minutes. So I was trying to get basically all of our classmates and I were getting our feet wet, and we were going to go to a live event, and we were going to go to a concert, and we were going to actually be in the field and actually do a live set. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that because, thank you, COVID-19, you destroyed everything. So we weren't able to do that. So we had to create our final project at home with the editing software that we may or may not have had access to. And our professor was very lenient too. He was like, if you only have access to iMovie, I don't care. As long as you get the work done, don't care what editing software you have, just try to do it as best you can and we'll work through it. I got an A in the class, so there's something. My promo went over well, and he actually gave feedback to everybody on the promos that we cut, and he says, nice promo for your Nerdcast. I was like, all right, thanks for the feedback. I thought I was going to get a paragraph, but a few words is fine. It's okay. Hey, simple feedback sometimes is the best. Who knows? And then the second class was math, and I'm not a very good mathematician. So the thing that helped me, even though COVID-19 is not something no one should be happy about, we were able to take all our tests at home. And we were able to have it open note because our professor couldn't stop us. So, because originally we were only able to have a 3x5 index card. To put a lot of material from 3 or 4 to 2 or 3 chapters on a 3x5 card front and back, that's not enough room Willow. That's not
No.
enough room. I'm not a smart guy when it comes to math. So for us to be able to have our notes at home, to have our books at home, and to have the textbook. I had my textbook online. I didn't have a physical book. I had it online through our good friends at Blackboard, which you may or may not be familiar with. It worked out fine for me. So as much as I know it was a pain for a lot of students and it worked out for some, I was on the end that it worked for me. So my professors were great. They answered all our questions that we may have had. They were pretty good about getting back to us in a pretty timely fashion. So if my professors are watching this, which you're probably not, but if you're watching this, thank you for your accommodations and thank you for being so patient with us and answering our questions and going through the motions with us, because it's not easy. I mean, I have a sister-in-law who's a teacher, and she works with little ones, and it is to put programs together for online for those students and try to, be helpful to each and every student and their parents. Like, I can't imagine what teachers and educators in America and our good friends to the north, known as Canada, are going through. So teachers, administrators, we salute you, because without you guys, we would be lost.
I know in some parts of my city, some daycares have been opening, and I know I have a couple friends who do work in early childcare, and so it's nice to see them going back to work. But let's hope and pray that Manitoba's numbers have been pretty low. Let's hope and pray that those numbers go down for the states as well, because kids definitely need to learn socialization. And during this time, we laugh about being, secluded in our own homes and enjoying it.
Doing all the shopping online, I'll tell you that. We don't even have to go to Walmart or Best Buy anymore. We can just get them from other retailers and get some of these items that we may or may not be looking for a little bit cheaper. I'm just saying.
But I know that there are parents out there who like to have their time away from their children. So
the lovely families and parents would love to have their lovey-dovey time. So that's not easy. And with having a niece and a nephew that are at home at my brother's house, it's, oh my gosh. I can't imagine what they must be going through. Dear heavens almighty. But you know what? The kids have been they've been good about it. They're getting through it. And, it's different for everybody. Some kids can get used to this kind of a system. Some kids can't, depending on what their circumstances are. But you know what? Whatever happens in the fall, whether we reopen, whether the schools, the elementary schools, I should say, if they reopen, just do it the best you can. Try to be safe about it. Try to be really smart about it. Try not to put too many people in a room at one time. Make sure the kids are washing their hands religiously. If you're going to go to the store next week, get a lot of bottles of this. It's called hand sanitizer. It's a beautiful invention. Although soap is the best thing to get rid of the germs, hand sanitizer is I'm sorry to say this, it's a temporary solution to an overall problem. I would recommend you get actual soap. But if you can't, please use hand sanitizer for the children, because it will take care of most of the germs. It won't take care of all of them, but it'll take care of it enough to where they can probably get through the day on a few little squeezes of the bottle. So.
And if you can, try to get yourself those alcohol wipes too. Those really help too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get as many as you can. If you can't get Clorox or Lysol, # not a sponsor, please get bleach.
Yeah.
Use bleach. I don't care what you got to do, but just use whatever it's called. Is it called bleach and alcohol or something? I don't know. Just use something just get a surface cleaner. You know what I'm saying? Just get a bottle of surface cleaner at your local grocery store, because believe me, I've seen plenty of them. They still have plenty left. Get them now or forever hold your peace, because the school year is right around the corner, and some of my friends are going back to school as early as 3 weeks from now. So this is
End
scary.
of August is usually the time where people start going back to school, and I really hope that the whole talk of a second wave is.
Please don't.
No.
We don't want one. Please, if COVID-19, if you're watching this, which I know you are, because you watch everything and everyone, I know that sounds creepy, but it's true. Get away from me and get away from everybody else, because we don't want you here. We want you gone. Yeah, see, Willow even knows what I'm talking about. She has a visual prop to illustrate.
Wear a freaking mask, people. It's not that hard.
And they're available everywhere, and you can get them online. So please buy as much as you want. If you want to buy a box of them, if you want to buy 2 boxes, please feel free. I'm just throwing that out there as a for instance. But yeah, I wish my family and those who are involved in the education field, please be safe. Please try to have fun amidst the circumstances. But yeah, I'm just so happy our professors are giving us the option to stay home. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I get to take my classes at home and not have to worry about driving much anyway. In a way, I'm going to be saving a lot of money and a lot of energy on gas.
I was just gonna say, like I'm sure that a lot of us have saved. I actually have been saving lots of money, not going out constantly. Even though I do miss going to see movies and going out to eat.
And conventions.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I've been saving money, which is nice.
I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm not saving money.
Although
I need to start saving money, but I haven't really done it yet.
I've been purposely staying away from eBay and Amazon, looking at figurines, because I know that I'm going to end up finding something I want. And right now, spending $200 on a figurine is not something that I really want to do.
Did you see the images that were released a few days ago for the 20th anniversary of X-Men? Did you see the Marvel Legends figures that they're coming out with for X-Men's 20th anniversary?
No, but I'm sure that someone's going to end up giving me that link.
Somebody might. They're doing 20th anniversary. One of them is a 2-pack of Charles Xavier and Magneto, and the others are singles. One is of Logan/Wolverine, and another one is of Raven Darkholme, aka Mystique.
Oh my god.
They're online. You can Google them.
Yeah.
But they just came out, they're not out, but they're available for pre-order. So I'm like, oh. I asked my friend who sells these things. I said, hey, you going to have these figures for sale when next time I see you? It's like, sorry, no, they don't have the Build-A-Figure parts in them. I'm like, really? Like, great. Now I'm going to have to find somebody else to get them for me. Thanks. Because I want the Charles Xavier and Magneto 2-pack, and I also want, it's Logan. So you got to get Logan. So yeah. I don't really care much. I like Mystique, but not enough to get a figure. Sorry. So I am going to get the 2-pack and Logan, but I'm not going to get Mystique. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But the figures look kind of cool, though, if you look them up. They don't look too shabby for 20th anniversary. And as soon as I found this out, I'm like, really? We just did our watch-along, and you're telling us this now? Why couldn't we bring it up on the watch-along to tell our audience?
But yeah, there's I just don't like. I want to go to Comic-Con. I really hope that part of me hopes that our Comic-Con in October is still gonna happen, but at the same time, it's like at the convention center, they're definitely gonna have to have lower numbers show up, because there's no way that we are gonna be able to have the same numbers as like previous Comic-Cons.
Yeah, limited attendees. Yeah. You have to have limited volunteers, limited staff, because you don't want to get too many people in a room together, because as we all know, it doesn't really end all that well. Did you ever see the movie Kingsman: Secret Service? That's a bad example, because that guy was brainwashed when he was doing that. It wasn't him. It was a brainwash thing. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, it's funny. There's a convention going on this weekend, not in my state, but it's in Alabama. And it's a convention I'm very familiar with, because I have friends who live in that area in Alabama. And someone took a video of what their table looks like, because they're a volunteer or not a volunteer. I think they're like one of the handlers for one of the actors or actresses.
Yeah.
He took a picture and a video to show what the convention floor looks like and how they've been, handling the situation with COVID. His table is 6 feet or more apart. He's got plenty of sanitizer at his table. He's wearing a mask. And the staff, like everyone around him, I think is doing the exact same thing. And everything in the convention center is more spaced out than what it would normally be.
Yeah.
So the angle that I saw it at, it looked pretty good. Like they were taking a pretty good number of precautions. So I'm very happy that they're doing that. And also the fact that people are wearing masks, please keep doing that, because that'll definitely save you a lot of heartache when you're at a convention. No matter what size it is, whether it's small or medium, wear a mask. I know it's going to be a little difficult to breathe sometimes, but just run with it. But yeah, he seemed to be okay at the convention. It was only the first day because it's Friday, but he seemed okay. And I saw the vendor's booth that he was across from. It looked fine. So good on you guys for staying safe at the Huntsville, Alabama Comic Expo, which is way down south.
Although I haven't heard yet, because John Barrowman is supposed to be our main guest. Haven't heard anything yet, so
fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe John will do it.
Exactly. Like I
mean, John's a big, energetic lover of his fans, so maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, but I don't want. But that's the weird thing, because I know that the Canadian and U.S. border is closed for, well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
I don't. But I don't know about flying. Like, I don't know what the situation with our flights. I know Air Canada and WestJet have been packing their flights. Because they're stupid.
I know, right?
But I don't know what the situation is like down in the States for you guys, for your airlines.
I've only seen pictures. I don't have any evidence to back me up, so take this with a grain of salt. I have a friend of mine. She and her boyfriend have been doing not a lot, but they did some flying lately to get to certain places because they want to go on vacation. They just want to get away from everything that's going on currently.
Yeah.
The seats, like, they were in an aisle, like 2 seats, and like the other people weren't in the middle section because they blocked it off, but people were on the other end, so they were more than 6 feet apart, so that was fine. But the fact that they're still willing to fly and wear a mask and drink wine on the plane or whatever, it's just, I can't imagine traveling on a plane right now. That is like this, to me, that's one of the scariest environments to be in, especially with something like this going around the Americas and the world. So I can't imagine being on a plane and flying down south to, what is it, like Outer Banks or the Carolinas or Georgia or even Florida. Florida is, I'm sorry, people who live in Florida, but you're getting the nastiest end of the stick, and the cases seem to be going up, and that's not a good thing. So,
well, how is it in Maine? Like, how's the situation in Maine? Like,
you mean where I live?
Yeah, where you?
I've been to Maine, but I don't live there. You're in the wrong state.
Wow. Okay. Apparently, I need to look at your page again.
No, it does start with the letter M. It's just not Maine. It's a little further south by Pennsylvania, but we're actually in the green. Like, we're doing quite well. Our cases haven't gone up. Our cases seem to be going down. Hospitalizations are going down. The people and administrators at hospitals seem to be in good spirits despite everything that's going on. So we're one of the positive states. So
excellent.
I'm happy to hear that, but at the same time, it's like, we still need to be careful.
Yeah.
I know we're doing so well. We have the luck of the Irish. I don't want the luck of the Irish to run out. So I can't help it. Ryan's an Irish name. And my family's part Irish, so I can't say no. So yeah, we're doing quite well. So I hope Maryland continues to do so, and I hope the state above us, which is Pennsylvania, they're also doing. I think they're doing okay too. So I hope my neighbors to the north in Pennsylvania are doing well.
That's awesome. I'm glad that things are slowing down there for you guys.
Yep, Maryland's doing okay. We're hanging in there. Maryland says hi. To our friendly neighbor.
Totally.
It's okay. Maine is the same exact letter as Maryland. It's okay. It's just a different name. I have been to Maine, though. I went to Bahaba, and I think near Bangor, Maine?
Okay.
We went to Niagara Falls. I remember going to Niagara Falls at some point.
One day.
That was when I was younger. Oh, you've never been to Niagara Falls?
You know, it's funny. Like, I don't travel very much at all. As I haven't been to many of the provinces that we have here in Canada. I've been to as far as I've been to Saskatchewan. And I've been to Ontario, probably as far as like Vermilion Bay, but that's not even like that's just like touching the corner of Ontario.
Well, nobody puts Canada in a corner, so I'm just kidding. I know that's a horrible joke, Terry. I'm sorry. Is Terry even still watching this right now? Is anybody watching? I'm just curious. Any numbers on the left-hand part of your screen?
There is 2 watching, but
Lovely.
I don't know.
Drop your comments in the comments section for Willow to see on the right-hand part of her screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. You haven't traveled much. It's okay. Some people do. Some people don't. Some people are a little, maybe not the biggest fan of traveling. It's okay.
I went to Saskatoon for a youth group years ago. Got to see what life was like as a Christian college student, and right then and there, like having the tour of the campus and everything, and I saw the radio station that they had, and right away I was like, this is my space. I definitely would want to be there. So I think that was like the first knowledge, first piece of knowledge that I want to be in broadcasting. And then, of course, I searched it all up and trying to find the perfect school to go to. And I found the Academy of Broadcasting, which was a 9-month course. And so I'm just like, yeah, I want to work in a radio station. Did that for a couple months, helped out at NCI. That was my practicum, and I actually did a little bit longer practicum than normal because I really wanted to impress on the fact that, I want to do this. This is my dream. And the amount of people that I met, celebrity-wise, just, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together because there was a singer, songwriter, 2 of them working in the radio station and getting to know them, talking to them, and it wasn't a big deal at all. And then, I think it was months later when I'm like, holy crap. I actually, worked with 2 major Canadian country stars.
That's really cool. I have a somewhat similar story with my broadcasting career. Have I told you about my broadcasting career in another life?
No.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about it in just a moment because right now I got to take what is known as a commercial break, and I'll be right back. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
We need to pay some sponsorship bills here, folks. So listen to Willow while we pay some bills.
So the 2 Canadian stars that I worked with, Ray St. Germain. I know a lot of people, I know a few of you probably won't know who he is, but NCI was is a native Aboriginal radio station, and they play a lot of Aboriginal music. You know what? I have such an appreciation for my Aboriginal friends and their music, and what you guys are doing. Continue it. Please send me all your links. I want to listen to your music again. And then listening to Ray St. Germain talk. He's an inspirational guy. And I know he's been in the Canadian broadcasting industry for many years. These guys are just fantastic. And, he used to work at several radio stations over the years in his career. And, we need to learn to appreciate people who have a long broadcasting career. And welcome back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that, but sometimes in business we have to take commercial breaks because we can't stay on the air forever. But anyway, to give you a story, I went to a lovely place. It was called broadcasting school, right? So I went to broadcasting school for a couple months, got my diploma in radio, wanted to become a DJ at one point because I think I have the perfect face for radio. That's what people kept telling me all my life. They're like, Ryan, you have the perfect face for radio. You should give it a shot, right? So, had a few internships before I graduated, so I got a little bit of the lay of the land. Worked at interned at a news radio station. Made a few connections there. I interned at 100.7 The Bay, which is a classic rock station, which is one of the radio stations I grew up listening, thanks to my late father. Bless his heart. He introduced me to classic rock music, so I have him to thank for that. Doing events for the station, whether it was football season, we would set up the tents and to get the giveaways going at the fire station that was near the stadium. We weren't at the stadium; we were near the stadium where the games were being held. And then my job was a board op, so I was keeping an eye on the board. I was working the graveyard shift, so I was there from like 11 at night to like it was like 2, 3 in the morning, whatever the heck it was. It was weird. So. But the funny thing about this building that I worked at was that we had 4 stations in the building at one time. So we were the home to a lot of stations because, it's Baltimore. It's a big market, respectively. No offense to Canada. So the radio station that was down the hall from me, I was right here. The radio station I was a fan of when I was a kid, I would listen to 101.9, which is adult contemporary music station. I'm sure you're familiar with adult contemporary music, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that station's right over here, right? The person who runs the show at night was the person I listened to when I was a kid, and she and I were working in the same building. So I was working in the same building as my radio DJ idol across the hall, and her name was Fran Lane. She did love song and dedications. Lovey-dovey stuff. But I liked the music, and I liked her voice. Her voice is just, it's so comforting. You know what I mean? Some DJs just have that comforting sounding voice. A lot of people do that. So I would say hi to Fran every time I was at the station because she would be there for the last hour of her, late night show. It was good. It went from 7 to 12, so she was the night shift, right? 7 to 12. So I would walk in there and say, Fran, how you doing? She's like, I'm doing good. About yourself? Everything all right? In the studio tonight? I said, yeah, we're doing okay. Same stuff. Have to take the, the meter readings on the monitor, and I got to make sure everything is running because we had an automated station at the time. So I had to make sure everything was running. I had to make sure the levels were up and everybody can hear everything. You know what I'm saying? So. That was fun. I was a phone screener, so I was on a sports talk show. I don't talk sports, and I don't speak sports. I'm a movie guy, okay? So these guys were running a sports show, and they would call me the Perm because it's the prefix of my last name. What's up, Big Perm? I'm a big worm. So, it's just, they would, you know what I mean? So I would get phone call. I would take the phone calls from the listeners, and they would say, and every time I would answer the phone, like, Playmakers, what's your name? Because you have to put down the person's name and what they want to talk about, and it shows up on the DJ screen in the booth. You remember those things?
Yep.
You know the days. So I was like, Playmakers, what's your name? Hey, Perm, what's up, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. So what do you want to talk about tonight? Yeah, I want to talk about them Orioles, man. I'm like, yeah, sure. So, put it in. And then they would get on the phone and they would bring me on the show at times. They'd be like, hey, Ryan, let me ask you something. What's the latest movie you saw? Oh, yeah, I saw this. Oh, yeah? What'd you think? I thought it was all right. And then they said, Ryan, whose birthday is it today? And then I would point out famous people's birthdays, and they would kind of make fun of me because I brought up one person's name, and they would kind of made a joke about it. But it was funny, though, nonetheless. So I was people cracked a joke at my expense, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I know they were doing it just to be, it was just goofball fun. They didn't mean it as a negative. They were just trying to have fun because it's a sports talk show. You got to do it sometimes. So we did that, and I was the Perm or Big Perm for a while, and then eventually that came to a close, and then I went on to something else, and then I eventually ended up in a little place called college. So then I became a career college student, which I've been doing ever since, and I don't have any money because I'm a broke college kid, and I've been spending on all the items that you just saw earlier tonight in this lovely-looking storage container. So thanks a lot, Hollywood, because they're all based on movies or TV projects. So why? And I got more stuff coming in next week, Willow. So by the time August rolls around and we have to go back to school, figuratively, because I'm going to be at home, not in the classroom, respectively, I'm not going to have any money. So, if you have any money to spare for a broke college kid fund, we should do a GoFundMe.
I was just going to say.
Can we do a GoFundMe campaign? Why don't we do a Kickstarter? So if anyone's listening to this, please put out a GoFundMe page for me. I think Willow's going to be the admin. And send the money my way. If it's Canadian dollars, that's fine. What are they called in Canada? What are they called? Are they called dollars?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, it is dollars? It's not like Canadian or Canadian dollars?
No, but our money's plastic and can be washed. It's sanitized if need be.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, but... So yeah, that's pretty much the long and the short of my radio career. So the training, don't get me wrong. The training was fun, but I didn't get along with a whole lot of my classmates at the time, so that was that was a huge problem.
I was the same way. Yeah.
Half the people I worked with at my actual job, when I actually went into the field after I graduated, there were one or two, maybe three people I wasn't a fan of either at my job. So every industry is going to have your fair share of good seeds and bad seeds. I experienced more bad seeds in my trade school life than in my professional life. So there were a lot of bullies when I was growing up. So it was not easy. Bullying. I literally had a target on my back for bullying. But you know what? I got through it. I'm a stronger and bigger person because of it. So, and I have this ridiculously good-looking T-shirt that helped me get through the days. So, thank you, Power Rangers.
This is awesome.
This is from our good friends at RIPT Apparel. So please look them up online. And the other company that has really good-looking shirts is called TeePublic. So look up this company and you'll find some Megazord-looking shirts because the Megazord says hi. These are the dinosaurs on the right and the left, as you can see. Yeah, maybe I'll write it down. Maybe I'll write it down in my Dear Journal. It's me, Doug. No, I'm kidding. That's a TV series.
I bought my T-shirt from Comic-Con several years ago. It was actually supposed to be for my husband, but you know,
you're like, sorry, hubby, can't do it.
It just looks so good.
That brings me to one of my next questions. Was this between you and your husband? Were you high school sweethearts, or did you meet after high school?
We met in high school. We didn't start dating until when my last year of high school. He graduated a year before me. Somewhere in the middle, I think we started dating. February. Yeah, February of 2001, we started dating. And well, we broke up for a couple of years in between, and then trying to get my life straight, and in a small town where everybody knows you and makes up stories about your reputation. Yeah.
So it sounds like there were a few plastics from Mean Girls living in your neck of the woods.
Oh, well, there's
maybe not.
Kind of a reason why I got out of the church.
Oh, I see. Too many church mouses were babbling.
Yeah. And
okay, I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry you experienced that.
It wasn't just. It was just like I knew what the Christianity religion was all about, and I was trying to live it, but several people kind of lived differently. Very bigoted. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Not all of us are like that. Let me put it that way.
That's the problem of living in a small town, a very small conservative town.
So to put it mildly, it sounds like Smallville, Kansas.
Footloose.
or in this case, the environment known as Footloose, which I still have not seen the movie for yet, but I know it's great. I've heard it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon dancing in a suit. So
dancing was evil in this small town too. Although they did hold dances, oddly enough, but it was
Wow, so your life was literally like being in the cinematic universe of Footloose.
It was very much Footloose.
Did you play Footloose by Kenny Loggins and blare it loudly so all the people in the church could hear it?
I should have. I totally should have. Would have probably. I'm sure they played it on my prom.
Sorry, I can't help myself. No, I understand. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but yeah, 2001. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
19 years of that. I mean, granted, you said it yourself. You broke up for a little while and then came back, and all this other stuff was going on. But man, it's a long time. So you've been married what? 8, 10 years? More than 12?
We've been married to 10 years.
Wow, a lovely decade.
Actually, we'll be celebrating 11 years in August.
August. That's lovely. I know it's early, but congratulations. Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
You don't hear those numbers too often nowadays. But congratulations anyway.
I mean, you just have to learn to work at your relationship. You can't just any sign of hardship, you can't just run off.
Takes communication.
Oh yeah.
A lot of communication.
And even though there has been times where it's like, no, I don't want to talk, and I would rather run away, and we come back to the conversation after. But no, with Joe and I, we dated for quite a few years before we got married, and I don't know, we didn't really have I don't know. I don't want to say that we didn't have a proper proposal, but I mean, he did go down on one knee and give me the ring and all that. But that was like
tradition.
Yeah.
It is tradition for the man to do that. Get on one knee and propose to the love of his life.
But when we made it known that we were getting married, we just kind of announced it during our family dinner, and they're like, "Finally!" Yeah.
Did they say it like The Rock says? Finally. No, I'm kidding. No, that's great though. Congratulations. That's amazing. Let me ask you this: when you had your ceremony, was one of the cats the ring bearer?
We couldn't train the cats to do that, unfortunately.
I was going to say that would have been a great Disney Aristocat
get
moment.
The laser pointer. Cat treat at the end. No.
Was it a standard wedding or a themed nerdish wedding?
We definitely wanted a nerd wedding. His mom took control of a lot of things.
Oh, so it was traditional then.
Yeah.
Traditional wedding, but it was still a lovely ceremony, I'm assuming.
Like, if we can get a chance to revisit and redo our wedding vows, I definitely would like to have like a big nerd wedding.
What kind of theme would you want to go for if it were going to be a nerd wedding? Would you have it like be one thing like Middle Earth? Would you do it like Star Wars? How would you do it?
Joe's very much a Star Wars fan, so I'd probably have to do like the Princess Leia metal scene.
Oh, jeez. The slave Leia from Return of the Jedi outfit?
No. Oh, no.
I was say, that's a little too much.
I do not have the body for slave Leia.
No. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. What outfit would you wear?
At the end of A New Hope, where Princess Leia is giving the medal away.
Oh, the medal ceremony outfit. Yeah, yes. Okay, yeah, that works. That's a good wedding dress. That could be a good and it's white, so with a little bit of silver with the belt. So it or is she wearing a silver necklace in that scene?
She's wearing a silver necklace. I believe she's wearing the belt too.
And a silver belt around her waist. Okay, that makes sense. That would be a good wedding, actually. That would be a lovely renewal ceremony, I should say.
Definitely, just have to find someone to make that dress.
If Earth reopens and everything's like healthy and well to go again, maybe I'll bring out my Jedi robe and be an usher or something. I don't care. I mean, I don't know. I'll sit in the back. I'll sit far enough away that all the immediate family goes up front. Because I do have a lightsaber and a Jedi robe, so technically I don't have the whole outfit, but I do have bits. I do have a bit and piece of it.
The thought of doing a live broadcast for my wedding was on my mind, because at that time I was doing a lot of broadcasting on Blog TV, and I have like several of my friends who really wanted to be part of the wedding, but unfortunately couldn't make it due to where they lived. But yeah, no, like if we do end up renewing our vows, it definitely would be a thing where, broadcasting online would be a huge thing for sure. Because I mean, traveling to Canada, I'm sure isn't an option for us.
Look at me, I don't even have a bloody passport. So I don't even have my own passport yet. Not traveling. I haven't traveled I haven't traveled since before COVID. Where did I go? Well, we went to a place in my state, even though it was a bit of a less than an hour drive. But I went to the last convention that was open before COVID shut everything down. So the last thing I got to do before COVID destroyed everyone's life is I went to a small convention, and there weren't any celebrities. It was all vendors and artists. Artists were there, and vendors were there. So that's where I got some of my previous collectibles before I started really spending money going to town. Thanks, COVID. what did I get at that convention? I got trading cards from Casino Royale, favorite Bond movie, one of my favorite Bond movies. I got Power Ranger VHS tapes. That's right, folks. VHS tapes of Power Rangers. Go figure. Yeah, and I got a few other little trinkets here and there. But yeah, that was a fun convention, even though it was right as COVID-19 was starting to break out and everything was starting to be shut down. But it was fun nonetheless, even though we had to, take maybe one or two little precautions while we were there, because this was just when COVID was starting to be revealed to the public, and everyone was trying to figure out, should we be panicking? Should we not be panicking? What are we supposed to do? So it was right in the thick of it, or right in the middle of it. But it was fun nonetheless. And my friend and I, who were there to shoot B-roll footage that day, it was fun. And it ended up on our channel, which you can check out later, whenever. It's on Neuroculture. If you're watching this, fans, at It's Neuroculture, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel. We just posted our 20-year anniversary watch-along of X-Men. If you missed it when we did it live, the footage of that is up on our channel right now. I think I tagged you in it. So if you want to share it to your millions of fans, please feel free to do so, because we had an awful lot of fun that night, and we're looking forward to the next one, which in this case is going to be The Net with that girl from the bus. I'll be honest with you. I'll be surprised if like 2 or 3 people are even watching us with that, because I don't think that film does not have many fans. I don't understand why. I think it's a really good movie, but some people just, you know what they say, beauty sometimes is in the eye of the beholder. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. So.
And Hackers it came out around that time too, which
the movie, even though it's a movie, it's very real. Like, it feels very real.
Yeah. And I'm sure like both those movies were really, like, if they were to be released right now, like with the same concept, it definitely stuff that actually does happen.
It probably would have done better in the box office, but yeah, it's out on DVD, which is how yours truly is watching it. You can stream it online. There's a couple of different sites. I think Vudu, Amazon Prime has it. Somewhere you can find it wherever. If you're watching this right now and you want to join us next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central / Canada time. We love Canada. I'm not saying it as a negative. I love Canada because some of my good friends are from Canada, including Willow. So I have nothing against Canada. A lot of great actors and actresses that we are fans of come from Canada. So I'm not going to dog them for that.
We're the reason why Target is in business half the time. Is because we come down and shop at Target.
I guess that's true. Thank you, Canada. Yeah. So The Net. I'll be surprised if we get 5 viewers. But it's okay, because we're doing it to have fun. We're not doing it for, 1 million viewers. We're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it for the fame. We're doing it because we enjoy doing it. So I'm sure it'll be fun. It's too bad they never came out with the Net action figures, because then I can have it on the show. Like, I can have it sitting right here, right next to the camera, and be like, "Hi, this is Sandra Bullock. She wants to say hi." What's her name? Her character name in the movie is Angela Bennett. So Angela, say hi. No, that'd be too weird. But
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised though if there was an action figure somewhere of
maybe I should Google it when we get off of this. I should Google and see if there were any action figures, because some dude was selling a lot of Congo, the movie action figures, like that one person I was telling you about, and another person was selling a lot of Independence Day action figures. And they're still in their box, but they look yellow. So clearly they've aged, and you can see that they've aged. But every action figure from Independence Day comes with the character, their weapons, and a floppy disk that says ID4 on it. So look this up. I'm not even kidding you. It's online. Check it out. Google Images. Just use Google Images, and I'm telling you, you get a disc with every action figure that you would buy from the toy line that it was made from. So.
Oh my God!
They're all. By the way, all the discs are blue. So look it up.
You know what? I've never had a figurine come with a
computer disc,
yeah. But I have had like cassette tapes with like Barbie and other action figures playing a song or something.
I remember the storybooks with audio cassettes, and you would read along. And there's a lot of them that I've seen appear on. I think you can find a lot of them on eBay, right? So, but the beauty about technology, is that people take those cassettes and then they take the pictures from the book and they post them on YouTube, so you can follow along the YouTube video while the voiceover is doing the reading. I watched I watched the storybook of A New Hope that I had when I was a kid in like 95 or 97 when they re-released the movies or the books for the 20th anniversary, I think it was. It's the voices, they sound a bit like the characters, but nothing like the actual actors. But for the voiceover actors that they got, it's not too bad. I like it. Look it up on YouTube. There's some great YouTube videos out there.
I think in like this, I'm pretty sure I saw like records of like the books with the records and stuff like that too. So
I saw somebody selling those. I'm not kidding you.
I'm pretty sure I saw some at the last Comic-Con that I went to as well.
They were like this big, like maybe a smaller one or a bigger one, like the A24s or the 2048s. I don't know. Whatever the record sizes are called, because I don't remember what they are. You'd have to correct me on that, but yeah, I saw people selling those. I was like, geez, man, this is way back. I remember cassette tapes being a thing. Like, cassette tapes were our jam. We would pop those in every night when I was a little kid so I can hear the story. Sometimes I follow along in the book. Other times I just pop on the cassette to make me fall asleep or help me put me to sleep. It's like, oh, I can listen to Star Wars. I can listen to a lightsaber battle. Force will be with you. Who's Darth Vader? Where are those transmissions you intercepted? Where are they down those planes? I'm just kidding. I never did that in my sleep. But yeah, man, I gotta say, the more I watch A New Hope, the more I enjoy it. Especially now as an adult. Like when you're a kid, you enjoy it, but you don't like understand it much because you're just enjoying it for the.
You were just playing it on TV the other night.
Yeah. I watched Empire Strikes Back yesterday, so on VHS. The original cut, not the special edition cut, but the original cut. So I'm watching, what part am I at? I'm at the part where Yoda is with Luke, and it's after he's on his back in the little backpack.
Yeah.
And Luke is like, there's something not right here. I feel cold. There's something in there. And, he feels something like telling him to go, and he's like, what should I do? Only what you take with you. Your weapons, you will not need them. But he takes them anyway because, it's Luke. He likes to be prepared. And then he's just stirring that little stick in the swamp. You remember that scene? He's just And then he's oh man, Yoda has some of the best lines. I think he has all the best lines in the movie, quite frankly. He's like, I cannot teach him. The boy has no patience. He will learn patience.
The puppeteering in that movie was incredible too.
It's Frank Oz, man. He's so good. And the voice is good too. It's so good, isn't it? I think it's good. What is it? Away, put your weapon. I mean you no harm. I am wondering, why are you here? I'm looking for someone. Looking? Found someone you have. I'm sorry. I can just go off on a Yoda tangent because I'm a Yoda fan. I have the freaking Dagobah Yoda Funko Pop over here in my armoire. So it's.
I'm a huge fan of anybody that can do voices because I can't.
Sorry. What is it? Ben, I'm ready. Ben, I could be a jet. Ben, tell him, ready are you? What nose? Ready. And then he's talking to Obi-Wan's spirit, up there in the hut. He's like, "Will he finish when he begins? I won't fail you. I'm not afraid. You will be. You will be." It's like, that is some scary but yet so good stuff. You know what I mean? I actually said that to my Ludo Sport instructor when I'm learning lightsaber battle. I said, I want to learn the ways of the Force to become a Jedi like my father, which is legit. And then I told him, I said, John, whoever it was, John Erica, one of our trainers, whoever it was at the time, I said, John, I'm in this for the long haul, man. I'm not doing this like for one set. I'm doing this for the whole time because I want to learn as much as I can. I'm not afraid. I just like luked out of it, and I'm like, I'm in, man. I'm in. So it's fun. It's fun when you learn how to actually wield a lightsaber and actually wield it in combat. If you're not familiar with this, Ludo Sport lightsaber combat is a legit sport that's been around for almost 2 decades, and it started overseas in Milan, Italy, and then it made its way throughout Europe, and then it's made its way over to the States. I believe there may be a few chapters of it in Canada.
We actually have a few people who teach Jedi saber training as well. I know a couple of them I know a couple of people who do saber training.
Oh, really?
Would be nice if you guys can, pop in and say hi and, maybe teach us a move or two.
Well, if it weren't for our good friend known as COVID-19, my goal this summer was to take the Ludosport Form 1 instructor course and be a certified instructor. And then I would have been able to teach my friends. And if you had come down here to the US of A, or if I had a magical way called a passport to get into Canada and things were open again, I could travel over to your neck of the woods and be like, hey, I got my certification. I'm a licensed instructor. I can actually teach you now because now I know how to do it. So that would have been my training this summer, would have been my certification. I would have been an instructor, but unfortunately because of COVID-19, I couldn't go down to Virginia to do my training.
So do they teach you with like the plastic swords first and then go into like the battle ready lightsabers? I don't know what they call them. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. No, we use the sabers you see at Comic Cons, whether it's Ultra Sabers or the other company that makes them. Like I got mine from Wonder Force, Wonder Force is another company, or the Pack Store. They make like the legit, glass fiber poly armor, whatever. I don't know the material, but you know what I mean. So we use the legit ones, but the ones you use for Ludosport are very specific. But once you complete your training, you get your own as a trainer. So I would have gotten mine at the end of my training. So the one I have over here is not. I could use it for practice, but I can't really use it for dueling. So, like I said, it's a different set of cards. So if I would have done my training this summer, like I was going to be planning to do in the great state of Virginia, which is for lovers, I probably would have found the love of my life in Virginia. You never know. That's what Virginia's for. Among other things, Virginia's a great state for historical reasons. Let's not forget Virginia's a very big deal.
People have met at Comic-Con and got married at Comic-Con.
I implore that and I encourage it. I'm down for it. But anyway, that's another story for another day. My non-existent dating life. So, spoiler alert, guys. What was I saying? So yeah, they use a different material. So if I had done the training during the semester, we would have gone up north to New York for regionals, and then we would have been able to compete for the first time. That would have been nice. And then after the competition, 2 or 3 weeks later, I would have been down in Virginia doing my certification for Form 1 as an instructor. So I could have gotten a lot done in 2020, but unfortunately, can't do it. COVID-19, looking at you. So, but the only positive thing of all this is I get to do a lot of online retail shopping. A lot of online therapy. So thanks, retail therapy. I know. If your husband saw the Star Wars stuff that I got, I think he'd be impressed. So, I'll send you pictures. I'll send you pictures, and then you can show them off later.
I don't know what he all has. I know he has a lot of his Star Wars stuff still at his parents' place, and that have been well loved and well played with. Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Do they do live in the middle of nowhere?
No,
okay.
They live in a small town just outside of the town we met in. So it's not completely in the middle of nowhere.
But it feels like it. No, I'm kidding.
They're slowly building new developments in that area, so it's weird going there and seeing all like the newer houses mixed in with the ones that originally were there. Now it's like a big boom that's happening. Like people are moving out of Winnipeg wanting to move to like the small towns. I'm originally from a small town called Oak Bank in Manitoba, and that's where my family came from. After they moved from Germany and the Ukraine, they settled in the middle of nowhere called Oak Bank, Cooks Creek, and Birds Hill Park. That's where all my family live. And seeing it was a big deal when Subway opened up.
Oh my God. Oh, the
oh, look at it
$5
that way.
foot long, Willow. The $5 foot long.
And then that's where it all went downhill.
Really? Because of Subway?
Tim Hortons opened up a couple, which is a Canadian coffee chain.
Oh,
And then they opened up a couple locations. And then the movie store started closing down.
I miss those too. So many things we're missing out on.
I know. You know what? In all honesty, I do miss renting movies because one of the movie places that we had, we could rent like 10 movies for 10 nights for $10. And did I ever watch all the 10 movies? Probably not.
That's crazy. I miss those days. It took me hours on end to figure out what movie I wanted when I was in Blockbuster, but it was still fun.
I don't know. If I couldn't rent the newer movies that came out, I would go back and look at all the movies that I haven't watched. Hence the 10 movies for 10 nights deal was very nice. I don't know. What was your go-to movie if you didn't rent a newer release?
Well, when I was younger, like I said, I grew up on Disney movies and Ace Ventura. So when I was 6 or 7 or 8 years old, I would always try to watch Ace Ventura or Aladdin because those were the films I quoted the most when I was a kid. When I got a bit older and a bit wiser, and I got some gray hairs right over here on the side of my head, you can't see them right now because they're covered by a really good-looking baseball cap, which is representing my school. I have my school colors on, so that's lovely. Go Tigers, even though that's like every other school in the world. Everyone has a tiger mascot. What was the movie I enjoyed watching as a kid? I don't know. I just like watching movies in general. I don't really have like too many favorites. Like the ones I watched a lot when I was a kid were Tim Burton's Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I remember watching that a lot as a kid on VHS. I remember watching Ninja Turtles, the movie, the original 1990 movie as a kid. That was a movie I would just smile and laugh hysterically at when Michelangelo gets hit in the face with a book by Splinter because he's upset that he's ordering pizza in the middle of his lesson on the phone in the public telephone in a phone booth. Michelangelo, and no, thou do, and the clock's ticking, dude. And he just walks off. So sorry for creeping out your audience.
It's okay.
I love that movie so hard. I can quote it word for word if you want. What was another movie I watched when I was a kid growing up? I watched maybe not a whole lot, but I do remember watching the Star Wars movies. Not a lot though, but some because my brothers introduced me to it, I think, or it was my late father. It was one of the two. I'm looking at my movie collection. What else did I watch?
Were your parents nerds? Or
not really.
A form of?
My dad. If you want to look at my father, let's take a look at my dad, for example. My dad was an accountant. So that's nerdy right there. So he can do magical things with these fingers and type in on a calculator faster than the speeding bullet, and he can calculate your taxes like that. But I grew up in a family of accountants and teachers. So to a certain extent, my family is a bit nerdy. My mom was a teacher. My brothers were teachers. One of them's my sister-in-law is a teacher. My oldest brother works for a company. My other brother works for another company. So yeah, I guess you could say I come from a family of nerds, just not the nerds that I speak, but there's lots of different language of the nerd. It just depends on what language you're speaking. With me, it's movies and TV and, well, not a big expert yet because I'm only getting into comic books 3 years. I speak a little comic book, speak movies quite fluently, speak TV shows pretty darn well. Not great, but well enough. And I speak, what's another language? Oh yeah, collecting stuff when you have no money. Buying collectibles and where to find them. That's
bargain hunting. It's a skill.
Bargain collectibles hunting. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I'm very good at that because everything I bought in this box here is between the 20 and 30 range. So it does add up because as you see, there was a lot of items there, but I don't spend like triple digits on one thing, triple digits on another. I try to keep it a bit balanced. Yeah. So because once you buy things that are really, really expensive, it adds up even quicker. Yeah. So please, if you're buying an action figure, try to find it for under 30 or 25 or 20.
I'm very much the same way. Like I have a certain price range of stuff, and
I'm very picky.
I'm that way when it comes to art too. Like, I don't have any tattoos because I'm very picky when it comes to art.
I don't have any either. I mean, look at me. Do I look like a guy who could handle this? I mean, look at this arm. This couldn't handle the pressure.
Although, I have scars that, probably should have had stitches, but I just looked down and went, oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, okay.
We got ourselves a bleeder. No, I'm kidding. That's from another movie.
But yeah, no, covering up the scar on my leg probably is gonna happen. But I don't know. Just what do I want? that's the thing. Like, again, picky on art. I have a few ideas in my head, and I have a few ideas of who I want. Kat, yes, I promised you my tattoo virginity. Shout out to the woman who made my fursuit. My God, yes. Lazy Leopard fursuits. She also is a tattoo artist. Oh. So she has two businesses.
Pick up the trade. Or what's the expression? Jack of all trades. Let's put it that way.
Well, she's definitely that.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, no, we were talking about getting Beast tattooed somewhere.
Hank McCoy, yep.
Another idea that I had going was Rogue, probably some kind of pinup pose or whatever, but
interesting.
Just I don't know. It's the placement and
depends on the money and the timing. Especially with COVID-19, probably not the best idea to get needles stuck in your arm. So
probably not right now.
So it's probably best to keep
I'll probably wait a year and
wait a little while. Pace yourself. Save up money.
No, it's when it comes to like the nerd stuff though. Me growing up, my mom and my aunt were big influencers in my childhood. They're the ones who introduced me to watching monster movies at a very young age. I had a huge fear of the original Mummy.
Boris Karloff?
Yes.
Jeez, that movie is so tame compared to today's horror films, but I get where you're coming from because there's a few Universal monster movies that I'm not the biggest fan of. I respect them because they were the firsts, but yeah, the Mummy.
I know that.
I gotta be honest with you.
Like, how?
I don't get much from that movie, even though it has great actors in it. And the other movie I thought was boring was the first Dracula movie with Bela Lugosi. It's so boring. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like it's very slow. It's sluggish, and the guy just carries a candle, and then brainwashes Renfield, and it's like, who cares? Like, it's like, I bid you welcome. It's like, no. I get that's what Dracula is. That's his nature, but it's like, for a 1932 film, you're slow, man.
Yeah.
It's just the first two or three Universal monster movies. Let's put it that way. You had Dracula, you had the Mummy, and then the other one I thought was kind of boring was Frankenstein. Those three movies to me are not as good as the others. They're not as good. They're very slow, kind of boring. Nothing really happens. And when it does happen, it's like, well, it took you an hour and 20 minutes, because all those movies are only an hour, 15, 20 minutes each. They're very, very short. But at the same time, it's like, something happened already? But to me, the best Universal monster movies are the ones with Claude Rains. And I'm talking about The Invisible Man, The Phantom of the Opera. Once again, Claude Rains headlines both films. You got Creature from the Black Lagoon, which I think is one of the absolute best creature feature movies ever made. I met the actor who played the Gill Man underwater in the suit. Rico Browning, very nice guy. That was the first time I actually saw the movie. It was that night at the convention after his Q&A. Saw it in a room with a group of people. The lights were out. Screen was on. I was like being in a theater. Watching Creature of the Black Lagoon for the first time in a theater with a bunch of people who are a bit older than me, who have seen this movie countless times. And for me to be seeing it for the first time as a young person, I got to tell you, that was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had. So much so that I bought the Blu-ray at the vendor's booth the next day. Granted, it was a little expensive, but I bought it anyway. What's the other one I enjoyed? The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Oh, Lon Chaney Jr.'s The Wolfman. That's and again, Claude Rains is in it. Claude Rains was everywhere. Claude Rains was fantastic.
Like his voice was just amazing.
His acting he was in like every 30s and 40s movie because he was in Casablanca. He was Luis. He was Louis Reiner. He was the captain of the police. He was like Louis. You know, he was Bogart's buddy in the movie. And by the way, Casablanca is one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's one of the GOATs.
I'll have to watch it.
You've never seen Casablanca?
I may have seen like bits and pieces of it, but I really don't remember.
Dude, we should do a watch along right now for that. That movie's only an hour and 38 minutes long. That's a short movie. We can get through it easily. But anyway, Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Like there's just, here's looking at you, kid. I mean, it's just, Humphrey Bogart. Claude Rains is a beast. Watch all Claude Rains. Speaking of Claude Rains, have you ever seen Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious with Claude Rains and Ingrid Bergman and Cary Grant?
May have. I know.
So
there's so many old movies that I need to watch.
So good. It's juicy. It's the creme de la creme. It's the cream that rises to the top. Ooh, yeah, I'm a chameleon. Yeah. Sorry, that's a Macho Man impression, but man, you guys see Notorious. That's one of Hitchcock's best movies. I mean, Hitchcock really never ever made a bad movie, but that's one of his best, in my opinion. Are you writing this down? You really should be writing this down. I really hope you're writing this down. So I hope your husband behind the background in the backstage area is writing this down. Yeah. Anyway, what's you said what's your favorite monster movie or something that scared the living bejesus? I'll tell you, two movies that scared the bejesus out of me were Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice.
Those are really good films too, and I have such an appreciation for Beetlejuice, and that was one of the movies that I watched several times as a kid. Whenever I went to my babysitter's house, I think that was the movie that I would pop in. That and then Adventures in Babysitting was another movie that I absolutely loved.
I grew up on that movie too. Great soundtrack, and Elizabeth Shue. You haven't aged a day. She's aged a little bit, but not really. You can tell that she's aged, but not terribly. Sorry. Anyway, continue. No, Adventures of Babysitting is a good pick.
I don't know. Like those two films, I would watch constantly, and I think I may have, angered my sisters because it's like, oh, again, we're watching this, and yeah. What other films? Like when it came to horror movies, like my aunt and my mom loved watching those monster movies. They even loved watching King Kong. And there was one time in, I believe it was the 80s, where they released the 3D King Kong, and they were going to play it on TV, and in the TV guides, they gave like the 3D glasses and everything. So it was a big deal to be watching this, but I don't recall the 3D imaging being any good for TV. But yeah, that was like, my aunt was like super excited to do this. Like we made it a big deal to go to my grandparents for this. What age was I? I think I was like 4 when we were doing that. And then, well, my aunt was a huge fan of I Love Lucy. She recorded off TV several episodes of I Love Lucy, and a bunch of other shows from the 60s. So I think that was like my appreciation to old television shows. And there was trying to remember all the shows that we used to watch. I Dream of Jeannie, Gilligan's Island, just so much. But yeah, that was like the top of my nerdism. Is like you don't realize it until later on in life who was the influence, and definitely my mom and my aunt for that. But when it came to foster care, no, like none of my foster parents. I'm pretty sure none of my foster parents were nerds, so none that I can actually connect to. Anyway, I tried connecting to one of my foster parents with music, and trying to learn the flute was just the yeah, not the instrument I wanted to originally play, but because my music teacher is like, oh, you have to learn how to play the flute because we need more flute players. Yay. So I remember learning how to play the flute by watching people beside me.
Sorry,
No.
I'm hearing everything you're saying. It's just that someone's doing a live feed and they're selling another Star Wars play set, like the one I showed you with the Cantina.
Oh, should we?
No, it's okay. I can still concentrate.
I mean, we can cut if you want to pay it. If you want to watch that.
No. I can. It's a decent play set, but it's not something I'm like on the hunt for. I'll X out of that because I don't want the audience to hear that. That's not fair. But anyway, it's muted. You can't hear it now. But anyway, this guy was selling the Purchase of the Droids play set that was similar to the Cantina Showdown that I showed you earlier with Obi-Wan and those characters, and he said it was starting out at 20. And I'm like, well, the Cantina Showdown I got from another person that's not this party but a different party was $5. And this guy's charging 20 for this one, and I just bought 2 more of those sets from another person for less than that.
Yeah.
So $20 for that, even though it's in mint condition and it's clean as a whistle, it's pushing it. You know what I mean? Because playsets, they're not even that big. You know what I mean? The one I showed you, those figures are 3.75 inch. They're small. I
mean, people are gonna gouge because it's Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, but still, he has like and by the way, he had X-Men 1992 figures in a set that Marvel came out with. It was Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine. But it was from EB. They got it from, what do you call it, GameStop, and they're selling it for the same price that it was at GameStop. So they're not flipping it, and they're selling it for $70. I think they're selling it for $70, and I'm like,
nope,
$70, no thanks.
Nope, not gonna happen.
You know what they say, too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
I should probably get out of this before I'm too tempted. Anyway, the guy's feed just showed up, and I saw a Star Wars playset, and I'm like, oh, that one looks kind of cool. I'm just curious how much, because I wasn't saying claim, because if you say claim, then that means you're getting it. I'm like, no, I just want to know the price. And he said on the feed, he said it's 20. I'm like, 20 for Purchase of the Droids of Uncle Owen and Luke and the droids? It's a little too much cheddar. Because I got $5 for that Cantina one from one person who is an incredible person, by the way. She and her husband sell a bunch of toys, and her prices are fantastic. I got the Spider-Man figure for $2, and I got the Cantina Showdown for $5. So literally, I only paid $7, not counting shipping, of course. I paid $7 for that. It's cheap. It's cheap. See, this is why you make relationships with these people, because they're respectful and responsible. So, anyway, enough about that. The feed's over. You can't see it. It's not on my phone. My phone is out of the way, so I'm not distracted anymore.
It's okay. We've been babbling for like 2 hours, anyways.
Yeah, no. It's. I wasn't planning on checking out that guy's feed. It was just the first thing that showed up on my Facebook feed. But it's okay. At least I found out how much those 2 items were, which in this case were the X-Men figures and the Star Wars playset, and I'm like, no, it's not worth my money. Oh, what was I gonna say? What was it? So yeah, meeting my favorite DJ when I was growing up as a kid, who was in the studio down the hall from me. She was very nice, Fran, very nice woman. She even, before that, I had a friend of mine who was working at the station. She got me an autographed picture of Fran.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
That's
still
cool.
have it too. Yeah, it's one of those old school 3x5s, black and white.
Yeah.
They have at the state, you with the logo on it. You know what I'm talking about. So, That was
Like,
nice.
it's weird meeting, like even for today, last year, or sorry, the year before, I got invited to go to be on the NCI radio station float for like Santa Claus parade, and dressed up as a gingerbread, right?
Wow.
So I had to go in for like the measurements and all that, and met one of the DJs from my childhood, and I'm just like, the whole time I'm just like geeking out over the fact that, you know, I met him. I can't believe I'm in the same room, and it's, oh my god. But it's like I'm trying very hard to stay professional.
It's very hard not to geek out, especially if you meet somebody you've been a fan of for a very, very long time, or somebody you've known for a little bit, but you never got the chance to like really talk to them. So yeah. But the interactions I've had with Fran are great. She's a wonderful person. She's done so many wonderful things, and you know, when I was seeing someone at the time, I made a dedication of my own on the radio, and she played it for her, and that was when I knew what love was. But I'm not a smart man, but I have heard of what love is. Forrest Gump says it differently in the movie. I'm just paraphrasing because I haven't really experienced that yet. So, yeah. Lois Lane isn't here. Yet. Maybe one day she will be, but Lois Lane isn't here to say hi to your wonderful audience. Anyway. What was I going to say? What was the Disney movie you watched the most growing up? Animated film, not live action.
The animated film that I watched more probably would have been Lion King. Little Mermaid, Lion King. I think I watched both about the same amount. The one that I had more figurines for, I think, well, between Pocahontas and because I had a lot of stuff from Pocahontas. I had a Barbie doll and like all the little characters. I even had stuff from Belle, but I don't know the movie. I definitely Lion King probably. That was a huge thing in one of my foster homes, always playing Lion King because of the music.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. So, you're going through a difficult, because I know you said it yourself, you're going through a difficult time with foster care and whatnot. So, you know, no worries. Just try to take it through the motions and take it day by day. But then again, everybody's story is different.
I think everybody in my foster home at that time was belting out, you know, Hakuna Matata, or, you know, even "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?"
Yeah. John.
You know, Elton John did a great job writing music for that movie.
Mm-hmm. I believe it got some Oscars that year.
And then, of course, Tarzan came out around.
Phil Collins.
I don't know. Phil Collins versus Elton John. I'll take Elton John over Phil Collins, but.
I was raised on Phil Collins, but that's okay because I respect Elton John just as much. It's okay. It's fine. My dad, like I said, my late father raised me on a lot of music growing up, and one of them was Phil Collins at Genesis. So that's why I'm a big Phil Collins fan, because I have my dad to thank for that. But just out of curiosity, we don't have to go into too much detail, but did you find the right family for you eventually with foster care, or it didn't really work out that way?
No, I had the chance to move back to one of my foster homes because my sister ended up going back. And at that point, I was, I was done with moving, and I decided to stay. And I beat myself up. I do regret not going back with my sister, because the situations that, a lot of the stupid stuff, like we moved around my foster mom ended up moving us around several times. And thinking back, it's like, how was that, fair for people, for those of us who were their foster kids? Like, that is not a stable environment at all to move around from, like moving above a restaurant, moving to Steinbach, moving back to Richer. It's just like, it was just too much moving for me. And then it put a strain on my relationship with my mom as well. And I think there was a little bit of it felt kind of like there was a bit of jealousy as well, between me and my foster mom, because I was starting to become an adult around that time and developing different personalities, and we just did not see eye to eye. It was really hard the last year, because I was starting to, look at places to move out to. She was trying to get me to stay till I was 20, 21 or something like that. And she was actually trying to claim that I was mentally unstable and unable to live on my own. And as soon as an apartment opened up, I'm just like, I'm there. But yeah, and then it was, I was always trying to contact her, trying to tell her all the stuff that was happening, and she never returned my calls. And it was just like, after a while, I'm just like, I'm done calling. I'm done being the one to always call and try to connect. And so, it hurts, but at the same time, I have my biological mother that I talk to, and trying very hard to continue a relationship with her. And I mean, like, I'm trying to keep in contact with my siblings as well. Even though there was like a huge gap of not seeing them during our childhood. But, we have different lives. We're adults. I try to be an adult. I'm trying, like, being a responsible adult is kind of hard, but, I've gone through different jobs. I refuse to be the type of person to live off the government.
I see what you mean. Yeah. All right. So what I'm gathering here is, yes, like everyone, you've had your challenges, you've had setbacks, you've had obstacles that have been thrown your way at what seems to be a lot of different turns during the course of your life. But the good news is, you found your, I know it's not easy. I mean, nothing's easy being in any relationship. It doesn't matter if you're married or not. Any relationship is going to have its fair share of good days and bad, right?
Yeah.
But you have a loving husband. You have cats that like to rip your house apart. You have collectibles that will last you several years and put a smile on your face for days on end. You have a secure job. You have other things that you're aiming for once Earth fully reopens. And, you got the talk show with Brian and all of us at Reels and Heels that we tend to work on a couple of times together, which has been fun. I'm not going to lie. And you just, you've been through struggles, but you've overcome them. I mean, if Professor Xavier were here, I'm sure he would give you a big hug and give you a pat on the back, because you're an ordinary person with extraordinary abilities. So don't ever sell yourself short.
The one downfall I have, I'm a very caring person, and which I always look at the good in people. And when it comes to, friendships, in order to keep people around, I will completely ignore the fact that some people are taking advantage of me until finally I get tired of it. But, I try very hard not to let people take advantage of me, but because it's like, I want to keep their friendship. So it's like, I will put up with a lot of toxic behavior from people for stupid reasons. And I'm learning as I age to not allow that to happen. Like, saying no was a huge thing that I would not do in my life prior to me turning 30. I've gotten myself in several situations in my 20s where it was, living in, being an in-home nanny for a family, not getting paid for it.
So much for that Christmas bonus. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I can. I haven't been through that myself, but I can kind of understand. Yeah, kind of understand. That's tough, but at least you got through it.
Yeah. I definitely learned my lesson on that, and I definitely learned to be a lot stronger. But I think because I always look at the good in people, I'm a little naive still when it comes to people's personalities and people taking advantage. But I try very hard to look at the red flags.
I gotcha. Well, hey, with age comes wisdom, and with every challenge that comes our way, every negative, whenever life throws you a curveball, it's all about, how you respond to it. How do you go about it in the end of the day? You can be upset and angry because we've all had moments where we've had bad days.
Yeah.
But, there's always, as I know, I'm not a musicals fan, but as the song says, there's always tomorrow. So just, there's always tomorrow. Like, I may feel like garbage one day, and then the sun could come tomorrow and be like, you know what? Okay, last night was bad, but it's a new day. Start fresh. Don't worry about the other stuff. Just go about your day. That's all you got to do. Just go about your day. When the sun's shining and there's not too many clouds in the sky, think of what Fred Rogers would say. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I just take it day by day. Some days are easier than others, but that's that comes with the territory. We're human.
And learning wise in school, it was
school was rough at times. Like, there were so many days where I just wanted to walk out of school and be like, you know what? I'd rather watch Fox Kids all day than put up with this crap.
Absolutely. And
where's my X-Men?
Like, I know that I had a couple people ask me recently if I have Asperger's or and honestly, I've never been tested.
Okay. Well, then you don't know that. You don't have an answer.
And even if I was, like, none of that stuff really came up during my childhood. So it's like, I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but it would kind of make sense because I struggled a lot in school. I had a little bit of a learning disability because I was a lot slower doing my schoolwork than most of the kids. But as an adult, it's like none of that really holds me back. I don't have that label to think about. I'm really sorry. I'm using the wrong word. But it's okay. It's not really a focus of mine. And I think I manage pretty well as an adult with a slight learning disability. So I don't want to allow any of that to hold me back either. I'm always going to face challenges. We're always going to face challenges, and learn to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I speak for everybody who's currently attending a school right now where I didn't imagine that I'd be graduating college virtually. I didn't imagine I'd be spending the rest of what's left. I mean, I don't have as much left of my college career as maybe some of the younger students do because I'm kind of old. I'm going to be graduating in winter of next year. So when that happens, I'm hoping Earth is reopened by then. We don't know because this thing is new and we're studying it day by day, and the scientists and the healthcare workers that are constantly fighting for us on the front lines, we thank you for that, by the way, because you're the real heroes. Let's not forget about that. The police officers, the firefighters, the hospital workers, the administrators, the first responders are the real heroes out there. So I just want to point that out. But if I'm graduating virtually, it's going to be kind of weird, but it is what it is. And my family and I had already we're gonna throw a soiree no matter what. So we're gonna party. So don't worry about that. But yeah, finishing my college career virtually and then not being able to do my instructor training for Ludo Sport for another 2 to 3 years, depending on how Earth is going to be going in the next 3 years. It's just. I'm going to be pushing 40 when this happens, and it's not good. But hey, if that's the way I got to play the game, I'm going to play the game that way because there's nothing I can do about it because I'm not a health professional, nor am I an infectious disease expert. So we leave that to the experts, not me. Someone who's not me. But yeah, it is what it is. But hey, I'll deal with it as the time comes. The good news is most of our families live closer nearby us, so that always helps.
Yeah.
I still see my family when I can, so please, if you're able to do that, ladies and gentlemen, please count it as one of the many blessings you have in your life. So, but, geez, what else? I'm trying to think of another question. I think we're out of questions. Are we done? Do we have another script we can go through? Because I'm kind of we're kind of just rambling in the middle of a cafe at 10. Is it 10:30 Eastern? No, it's 9:30 Eastern. Excuse me. It feels like it's 2:30 in the morning, to be quite honest with you. But you know what? The night is young, and so are we. Or are we not so young anymore?
I will have to say, I'm going to be honest. I did stalk your page a little bit. Your
that's not good.
Your birthday's the day before mine.
Is that a fact? So we're both in the same ballpark. That is,
yeah. So we're
gonna have to do something.
Absolutely.
Do you want to? Okay, so let's see. The end of the month is. Do we know what day? What's the last day in September that's on a weekend? Is it the 30th?
You know what?
Let me see the calendar. Let me see. Hold on.
Feel like
I have my calendar here. Let me pull it up because we go back to school at the end of August, or no, the middle of. Is it middle of August? No, it's towards the end of August.
Your birthday's on a Monday, so.
Oh, we have to do something on Sunday then because it's the weekend.
The 27th or the 26th.
Yep, 26th, 27th is the weekend that year. Okay, that's all right. We'll work with that because we go back to school the last week of August, so that's when I got to go back to business. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Wow, that is. I have a funny story to tell you off camera after your live stream is over. I do have something funny to tell you about that off camera, but oh my gosh, a day separated. Man, it's so weird. I have another friend of mine who lives up in north in Jersey, and her birthday is, let's say, I'm sorry, I'm just doing random accents. It's late. I got nothing better to do. I just feel like turning into a character, even though I should be myself, but. You know what they say, there's only one of you, so be yourself. Try not to be something you're not. Her birthday is 6 days before mine? Is it 6 days? 5 or 6 days before me. So we may have to do a triple threat birthday. I don't know. I'll talk to her, see if she wants to do something. I don't know. It's her choice. She might have something planned for that weekend. I don't know. That's up to her. And I haven't talked to her in a few weeks, ever since she... had to start a new gig, so I'll have to talk to her about that, see how she's doing with that. Yeah, geez, that is so fun. Anything else you found on my page that astounded you? And because you said you were stalking me, which is a creepy thing to say, but that's
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's a word. It's a word we use. No, it's a word we use. We call it Facebook stalking.
I'm an honest person to a fault.
No, it's okay. No, that's fine. Is there anything else that surprised you that you found on that page? Besides the day of the birth. Anything else?
No, I'm not. No, honestly, no.
There's nothing. There's nothing there. Okay. So the one of all the pieces of information
I got your hometown wrong, and I still feel silly about that.
Now you know what it is. At least now you know what it is. Let's not repeat it on the air for the viewers, because that's, let's try to keep some stuff in the close to the vest. But yeah. So yeah, I guess it's true. I do live in Maine. Yeah, Bangor, Maine. No, I'm kidding. Julie the Cat Gaffney from Mighty Ducks is from Bangor, Maine. If you remember the scene in D2, the Mighty Ducks, when he goes around the room and says, "You, who are you? Dean Portman, from where? Chicago, Illinois. You, Guy Germain, from where? St. Paul, Minnesota. You, Julie Gaffney from Bangor, Maine. You, Russ Averman, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Goldberg, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania." It's just, do you want me to keep quoting? Because I could just never.
That's incredible that you remember all this stuff.
Well, here's the thing about me with my abilities as an X-Men, aka Asperger's. I can recite movies word for word. That is my mutant ability. So if I went to the school for the gifted with my homeboy, my friend, Professor Charles Xavier, that would be my mutant ability. Full disclosure.
My mutant ability is to mess with electronics.
I thought it was to defeat cats that annoy you. No, I'm kidding. How are the cats doing, by the way? We never asked. Are they
They
here?
are sleeping. I fed them before going live so that they would leave me alone.
That's good. Do they always go to bed this early? That's wonderful.
It really depends. Like, I don't know. I guess Twinkie's kind of zonked out on the couch, I would hope so.
Did you name the cat Twinkie because you like the brand of Twinkies?
He looked like a little Twinkie when he was born.
Had the little cream filling in the middle.
Should
I say a white stripe in the middle of his fur?
Yeah, that's pretty much
true.
It.
He does have one?
He has, he's orange on his head and orange on his body, and he has, in the middle, he's white.
Any reminders of Garfield?
We actually have a chonky cat, orange cat, that I named Rusty. But yeah, he's definitely in the running for Garfield. It's hilarious.
Gee whiz. Cats.
I know.
If I were going to own, we can't because my family's allergic, but if we were going to own one, I would own a cat. Because I prefer cats to dogs.
Yeah. I like dogs too, but I don't know. So I don't feel like dogs should live in the city, in all honesty.
Well, we saw what happened in that movie, Oliver and Company. It doesn't end very well. And if you saw the movie The Aristocats, there's some interesting people in that movie.
Yeah.
Granted, that's a Disney animated film, but still, I digress. You can discover a lot of things by watching animated films. I mean, hey, I didn't know that there were uncles out there who were evil like Scar, so... But Scar is such a good actor, though. That's the problem. Jeremy Irons is such a good actor. Why would he be a bad... Well, because he's good at playing the bad guy.
He's really good at playing the bad guy.
And he has the villain voice. Like, he has a traditional villain-ish type voice, you know what I mean? It's funny, I was looking through our good friends at YouTube today, which is hashtag not a sponsor, and one of the videos that popped up was the video of Be Prepared from Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, should I watch that or not? Probably not, because it's probably going to creep me out. No, it's not going to creep me out. It's just I'm not in the mood for Disney right now. I'm sorry. I have a friend of mine who's a very big Disney fan, so she probably wouldn't want to hear that from me, but that's okay. She's understandable. I'll talk to her about it later. What was it? There was another question. If you were going to cosplay, hypothetically, if you were going to cosplay as a Disney princess, who would you go? If Disney gave you the call and said, we have an outfit that is custom made for you, what Disney princess are you going to go for?
I have always wanted to dress up as Pocahontas, but dealing with what we are dealing with now, no.
Cultural aspects.
That's definitely an out.
Sorry to hear that.
No, because she was my favorite Disney princess. Well, she still is, but just at the time.
I don't hear that from many people. That's wonderful.
At the time of growing up as a kid, yes, she was my favorite Disney princess.
I think it's a really good movie too, and Colors of the Wind is a great song.
I will be right back. Apparently, someone's at my door.
I got. Okay. behind this?
Well, the Canadian Institute for the Blind is going around door to door asking for donations for a guide dog. And I feel like an ass because I don't have any cash.
Haven't gotten that paycheck yet, have we? No, okay.
I'm really bad at carrying cash.
Yeah, I used to, and then COVID-19 happened. Everyone's like, hey, it's probably best not to carry cash around, guys. Use plastic.
I've always been bad at carrying cash. It's just not a thing that I can go. I don't have a bank nearby that is my bank.
I understand. So what's, to kind of, I guess, man, we've been going almost 3 hours, gee whiz. Anything else you want to discuss? Or, I don't have a script, so I don't know where we're supposed to be on stage.
I know, I was hoping more people would show up, but you know what? I'll try again next week. Maybe it'll be a better show.
You never know. Yeah. Well, did you want to take us out? You want to wrap this thing up?
Sure.
Let's do some plugs first. So, since it's your show, I'll plug my stuff first, and then you can wrap us up. How's that sound?
Go for it.
Okay, so for the 2.5 people that watched this show in the last 3 hours, we appreciate you. We thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you got some enjoyment out of our collections that we were sharing with you, whether it be some sentinels that are evil and shouldn't be executing mutants because mutants are heroes, at least in my book. If you haven't seen X-Men Days of Future Past, please do yourself a favor and watch it. It is a great film on its own. Even if you've never seen an X-Men movie, watch Days of Future Past. Your mind will be blown. But anyway, my name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @It's Nerd Culture. Videos are up right now. Like I said before, our 20th anniversary of X-Men, the celebration video is up on our channel. You can check it out if you missed it during the live broadcast. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @RyanRPM5. Pretty soon I'm going to be posting pictures of my collection-aholic post, and I really need a sponsor because I need help to stop collecting stuff because it's costing me too much money. But thank you for joining us. And what else can you find me? Oh, yeah. Don't forget about my podcast. It's called The Nerdcast. I talk about movies new and old. So check that out. It's on Anchor or Google or Spotify. Wherever you download your podcast, you can find us there. And also, you know what? I'll let Willow speak on this because we have a very special presentation we're doing tomorrow, and it's going to be live on Facebook. Willow, take us out.
All right. So tomorrow you will be catching both of us on Reels and Heels. We'll be talking about reboots and remakes. So I can't wait to discuss that. Definitely we'll have to start writing a list of movies that I hope to remake and hope that they don't. But you can find me everywhere on the internet. Just Google Willow Scholar. I'm sure you'll even pop up my old MySpace account. But yeah, I'm here on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, YouTube. So yeah, I'm everywhere. So tune in. Come join us tomorrow. I'll
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you wondering when the show is, it's going to go live at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Canadian/Central Time. Please keep that in mind as you go along if you want to tune in, and put your comments down in the chat because believe me, Brian loves reading them.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be sharing that link to you guys. So you guys all have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining us. And Ryan, it's always great time hanging out with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and may the force be with all of you as we go through this difficult time.
Peace.